Bourbon. Belts. Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. I'm Tim.
I'm Ryan.
And this is a show where we talk about wrestling, talk about some movies, some blockbusters, some TV shows.
Hell yeah.
All over a glass of bourbon.
Beautiful.
And we got a jam-packed episode for you today.
We do. We got a lot.
This was my cash-in. Remember, you can find our cash-ins on TikTok now and Reels on Instagram and Facebook and our stories. This week, we got an import of sorts.
Oh, yes.
From
Across the state lines.
Across the state lines. We got Portland, Oregon, Quercus, Guyana? I'm going to have to look that up now.
I don't even know what you just said.
Burnside, Oregon oaked bourbon. So we got bourbon from Portland, Oregon. I don't know how much it was, but there was no tax because it was from Oregon. So I actually think it was $33.
Not bad.
Heck yeah. Let's give it a try.
Bourbon on a budget. Love it.
Cheers. Damn. Packs like a punch right at the tip of your tongue.
And then kind of down here in the throat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like I felt it from about here down to here. And then, but on the, like you said, here, it burned. And then it burnt. So.
Yeah, I would say it's not an easy sip. It's just...
It'll get better once the ice dilutes it a little bit.
Yeah.
I do agree with you right now. It is...
It packs a punch.
Packs a punch. That's
and it kind of just enthralls them.
It's only 92 proof. That's kind of the surprising part for me.
Yeah.
It's only 92 proof.
But I think there's not much... There's almost a sweetness in there. It comes a little after the fact, but it's almost your typical just like bourbon flavor, like alcohol flavor, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's kind of similar. I'm trying to remember which one it was. A couple weeks ago. It wasn't last week's.
No.
Because we liked last week's.
Penelope was good.
I'm trying to remember which one it was that we said.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like... It's just like a bourbon, right? It's just like I know I'm drinking alcohol, but I don't really have like a flavor. I don't really have much of a flavor profile with this one.
Yeah,
much at all.
Yeah,
which is kind of. And again, we're not bourbon connoisseurs. We like to pretend.
We just like bourbon.
Yeah, we just like it. I don't know all of the fancy stuff about it,
and I want to get to the point like you talked about. It's going to take some time, and
it is.
I like when they
We're not even a year into this yet, dude.
Yeah, and I like when they point you in the direction in the blurb in the back, so I can like
true. And that didn't really have
sensing
this.
it. I mean, if that's what the bark of a tree tastes like, or oak of a tree,
sense.
then
yeah.
That's what I got from it was the Portland oak.
I'm gonna go like a 5.5, 6.
I was gonna go like a 5. Yeah. So
I don't think I think it's definitely like. Again, I think we've had worse.
Mm-hmm.
But this is down there for me. It's like I said. I think hopefully the ice cube will mellow it out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like this wouldn't be a bad one to like have like a whiskey water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's a good call.
You know, so.
And this is a good option to put in a cocktail where maybe other flavors shine through because it's not, packing that punch. So
won't be smoking that cocktail though.
No.
This already has enough, a little bit of a whammy. So, all right. We got our socials, you can find us at Trip B Pod on Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok. We are on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Podcast, Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Bills and Blockbusters. And our Gmail is triplebpod619@gmail.com. Let's get social. I want to get social. Okay.
Hit us with some socials.
Hit us. Let me talk to you.
All right. Well, we got this week's fact check, and this is going to be brought to you in part by Ryan.
I like how you said that. It was like an ad for something. On this week's episode of the Triple B Fact Check, well, we finally had a little work for myself.
All right. Well, I mean, it was a 3-hour episode.
It was a 3-hour episode. We were here again for some reason when we're at your house. It's holding true so far. We're looser when we're here. I don't know what about our house makes us be just like fucking tight, but we won't be anymore, I guess.
Damn it.
All right, so I do have a list of things. I still don't think it was quite as much as last week, though.
Count.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So
not,
up there,
not
but not as much. I think it was like 18 or 19 last week. So, all right. Firstly, what was scurvy?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about scurvy because the cocktail I made last week was called the Scurvy Cure. Arrgh. And then while we were talking about it, I was like, I said it was a disease. I was like, I don't really know what it was. So I figured I'd educate us a little bit. So what was scurvy? Scurvy was a condition caused by a severe lack of vitamin C in the diet. People who don't include enough fruits and vegetables in their diet are at risk for scurvy. Symptoms may not occur for a few months after a person's dietary intake of vitamin C drops too low. Bruising, bleeding gums, weakness, fatigue, and rashes are among scurvy symptoms. And treatments involve taking vitamin C supplements and or back in pirate times, because vitamin C supplements weren't a thing, eating citrus fruits, eating potatoes, broccoli, and strawberries were some primary ways that they could go about that.
That's why we got orange in the drink last week.
Yep,
we're getting our vitamin C.
Darn tootin'. That's why I named it the Scurvy Cure. All right, just one random kind of blurb that we said about the previous week's episode not being not our typical to go 3 hours. We then followed it up with a 3 hour and 15-minute episode. We're gonna try to not do that again today. So I just wanted to point out that I said that, and then we in turn in that episode went for even longer. So
we were a little heated during the belt section.
We were. I got a little fired up. I won't even say we. I got a little fired up. I was a little heated about it. Anyways, college that Facebook started at, when it was called the Facebook, was Harvard.
Oh yeah.
That's where like Zuckerberg went.
Yeah. Good call.
Also, Rashida Jones went to Harvard.
I think I did know that.
You probably did, because you probably listened to the Smartless episode.
Yes,
with her on
that's
it.
right.
Talk about it, because they asked her about Facebook and like if she was there at that point and stuff like that. Then Dave Franco. This was just kind of a follow up to last week's Together. I think, right? The movie Together with him and his wife, Alison Brie. And we had talked about how, like, things that they had been in before, that was part of the fact check.
Yeah.
And that they had been in 3 things, and then he had directed her in 2. And it was like, he wasn't in those, was he? Like a cameo or anything? And I looked it up. He is not credited on either The Rental or Somebody I Used to Know on IMDb. Like, he's not credited as an actor in it at all. So if he was in it, full reference, I did not watch those movies to fact check this. I just IMDb'd it. So if he is in it, it is an uncredited thing that I couldn't find.
Gotcha. Okay.
Isaac Gonzalez's character in Hobbs and Shaw, you were correct. It is Madam M.
Okay.
Another one you were right about, King Kong movie with Jack Black, was the 2005 just King Kong with Naomi Watts in it.
Yeah,
I had said I had like thrown out Skull Island. I wasn't. I just wasn't sure. Yeah. I just threw it out, and you were correct that it was just the base King Kong from
the
2005.
Peter Jackson one.
Yes. Yeah. I then said, I don't remember. Crap, Bob. Now I'm spacing on what it was that we were talking about when I said the Oh, it was Usher being in the faculty. I said like the Shazam Kazam conundrum. Well, Shazam has nothing to do with that conundrum. That's a fact check within a fact check. It's Kazam and it's Sinbad. So like there was Kazam
with Shaquille
O'Neal.
Yeah.
And there's like a whole like large army of people online that swear that it's like the Mandela effect, right?
Yeah.
That swear that they saw Kazam with Sinbad in it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So let me real quick jump to I didn't want to type all this out. I screenshotted this so that I didn't have to type all of this out. So this says, what this says, is this the Mandela effect at work? And this was on Reddit.
Yeah.
But it says an alternate universe. I think a lot of people watched a similar movie which came out around the same time that wasn't very good and just merged the two. And it says the movie is called Aliens for Breakfast. It says, bear with me, I'm recalling this film from memory. It says, in it, a young boy discovers his free prize inside his cereal box is actually an alien. The alien is, you guessed it, Sinbad. Sinbad warns him that he's tracking / trying to stop a rogue alien that has come to Earth. As luck would have it, the rogue alien is a new kid at school that has odd mind control powers. If he gets a pair of shoes, everyone else gets the same pair. If he gets the salad at lunch, everyone else gets the salad. At first, coincidences, but as time goes on, it becomes apparent to the main character, aided by his alien companion Sinbad, that this boy is making the others do these things. Sinbad helps the boy thwart the alien and happy fun times. And it says the movie was like 40 minutes long. It was made for TV. It was very, very forgetful, but it had many basic similarities to Kazam. A kid finds a magic creature in an odd container. The creature is wisecracking, follows the kid around, helps him out, and in the end beats a bad guy.
Yeah.
So that is what I was referring to. I called that out, and then I was like, I should probably bring a little reference to what I'm talking about, how there is that confusion between like Sinbad never played a genie in a movie.
Yeah.
That was Shaquille O'Neal, but people think it's Sinbad for whatever reason.
Maybe it's just the name Sinbad. It kind of just
maybe
kind of ties in. Maybe. Yeah.
But anyway, so that was the conundrum. We also talked about free agency starting, and we didn't like throw out. We just talked about how it's like our favorite time of the offseason and all that stuff. And I just wanted to point it out. Free agency for this year officially starts March 12th, but March 10th is what was previously referred to as the tampering period. Now I don't remember. I don't know what it's called, if they have a name for it or not, but it's just like they can start free agents can start talking to teams and working on contracts on the 10th, but they can't officially sign until the 12th.
Okay, perfect.
So it was the legal tampering period. I don't know if it's still called that or not. It doesn't really matter. It's just like the 12th is the official start day.
Gotcha. Okay.
When talking also about the Seahawks, I had talked about seeing an interview with Mike McDonald, and I said Adam Levine.
Oh,
that's Maroon 5's lead singer. That's
Aaron Levine, right?
Aaron Levine is who I meant and was talking about.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, like it didn't even cross your mind that I totally just said a completely whole other individual and is the wrong person entirely.
I heard Levine and I was
listening to it back, I was like, that's Maroon 5 singer. That's not who I was talking about. And then I said where I was talking about like the majority of John Schneider's off-season personnel acquisitions from last season didn't pan out. And so I wanted to dive into that a little bit more. And so I have some facts here.
All right.
Okay.
Spin facts on the fact check.
Yes. So it says, here's a rundown of the external free agent signees from last offseason. Safety Rayshon Jenkins, offensive tackle George Fant, center Connor Williams, tight end Pharaoh Brown, center Nick Harris, defensive tackle Jonathan Hankins, safety Kayvon Wallace, offensive guard Laken Tomlinson, and offensive lineman Tremaine Ankrum Jr., and then wide receiver Laviska Shenault Jr. Okay. Now, how many did I just name? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I skipped 2. Linebacker Jerome Baker and linebacker Tyrell Dodson. Sorry, I missed that in my own picture that I'm looking at. I screenshotted these things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 external free agent signees, meaning that we signed them from another team, right? Or they were free agents, but we signed them away from where they had previously been. So 12. Here's a little bit of a rundown as to how those 12, to a point, managed to play out over the course of this last season. Akram and Harris, neither of them made it through training camp.
Okay.
So 2 of the 12.
Down to 10.
Baker, Dodson, and Williams. So Baker was traded.
Yep.
Dodson was cut. And then Williams retired.
Okay.
So now we're down to 7. So that's 5 of the 12. It says they didn't make it through the week 10 bye. Chenault was cut after week 13. So now 6.
After the fumble Rooskies.
Yep. Jenkins and Wallace were outperformed by Kobe Bryant, who was already on the roster.
Yeah.
And both saw very little playing time thereafter.
Okay.
George Fant played in only 2 games due to injury. And it says, but the guys who stayed healthy were only about as effective as their close to the minimum salary suggested they would be. Yeah. So it was 12, so 6, half of them didn't even make it through the season on our team. And then 1, 2, 3 of the others had their playing time significantly reduced when they were kind of given salaries to suggest that they would be impactful players immediately. So now we have 3 guys left in that whole spiel of 12 that only performed about as close to their very small salary suggested that they would have. So essentially 12 for 12 busts.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Like Jonathan Hankins, you might argue, was the best as a rotational defensive lineman.
He had a few good plays, but very minimal impact.
Laken Tomlinson was not very good on the offensive line for us. Nick Harris was a backup center. Like, I don't even know how much he ended up actually fully playing. And then Farrell Brown was a rotational tight end that
very minimal
impact.
But he did have some good trucks going on
did.
in that one game.
That one game.
That's all I could remember him.
$3.2 million.
Yowzers.
So,
okay.
Just wanted to bring a little bit more kind of clarification or reference to that.
You were accurate.
And then the rest of this is fairly quick. Got a handful of things left. So I said that we've seen Jay live twice. We've actually only seen him once live, at least
Survivor
together.
Series.
And it was at War Games. Because he got attacked backstage when we were there for Raw.
That's true.
Yeah. So we didn't see him yeet live.
Yeah.
And that's what we were referring to. How many times has Sami Zayn challenged for the world title since he has been on the main roster at WWE? 3 times.
Okay.
Twice against Roman. The first of which he got attacked by Braun Strowman before, and then he lost in 15 seconds. So, squash. Right.
Yeah.
Second was the main match that we were talking about last week, which is a baller of a match. It was a great match. And then finally was just this last fall against Gunther.
Wow.
I read a thing, and it was just like when I was like on like the initial page of Google, things kept the same blurbs kept popping up in like 3 different locations, but then I'd click on it and I couldn't get to actually like get to that part where it's talking about. But it said that Sami Zayn has challenged for a world title 44 times, counting live shows.
Yeah.
So 3 times he is challenged in like kayfabe television live storyline type things. Only 3
out of the 44.
41 other times he's challenged on a live show or in a dark match or whatever it was, where like that's not real. That's just entertainment. Like the titles aren't changing hands in those situations, especially not main card titles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he has never won, obviously. So 40.
Wow.
0-44.
Crazy.
If that stat was, like I said, I couldn't find any more information on that specific 44, because I'm like, even like when I was reading through like Wikipedia through the timeline, they don't talk about live shows. They're not talking, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the stuff that you're finding is talking about this actual like legit pushes that he gets for it. So 3 times. We discussed the reign, like the who has had a longer reign than Roman Reigns did, and we were correct in the 3. It was Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, and Hulk Hogan. We also talked about Bobby Lashley's faction or factions, and the Hurt Business was the one with like MVP and Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
That they have kind of redone now in
Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, Hurt Syndicate in AEW. The other one that you said they kind of tried to recreate it with the Street Profits was called The Pride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's where we were going at because we were talking about the Street Profits video promo and stuff that they had. Also, members of the NXT Undisputed Era faction, that was your favorite faction. And you said...
I forgot Bobby Fish.
You forgot Bobby Fish, yeah. And then you didn't remember Kyle. O'Reilly. Or you just didn't say, all you said was O'Reilly. So I just... Again, bringing clarification to it, there were 4 original members of the Undisputed Era. It was Bobby Fish, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly.
Count.
And finally, was Gina Gershon in Face Off? Yes, she was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, that was a good pull. That was a deep cut pull, too. So that's what I got.
Nice.
That's all of it.
Nice.
So, yeah, wasn't... most of which were primarily clarifications. There was a couple correction things. But yeah, for the most part, it was a lot of stuff to check through, but it was not a lot of us just like outright being wrong and having to correct us. It was just like bringing clarification to something that we just didn't fully fledge out on the episode.
Like it. Just a quick update. The water is helping. I'm still going to stay at a 5, but it is helping out a little bit. It's making it a little sweeter, I feel like.
Yes, 100%. The water has cut the punch.
The punch. Yeah, it's
face.
not burning right away.
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to football. We had the final game of the season, the Super Bowl, the championship, and it was a thumping.
It was.
You jinxed them. You brought up how, because like the first thing you talked about when we were going into Super Bowls was how the Seahawks trumped the Broncos so hard.
Oh yeah. And you know what? I'm okay with it because it was fucking awesome. I loved watching every second of that.
Yeah,
the Eagles just outright fucking destroyed Kansas City.
And it was nice to see it after that first flag flew for the offensive pass interference.
Oh my Lord.
Wasn't
it?
Yeah.
The offensive PI, which was Phantom.
Yeah. I was like, not
what
now.
the fuck are you talking about? I know we were all just like, here we go.
Yeah.
Great. I was like, Andy Reid did walk up to a ref. I was like, hey man, it's the first drive of the game. Don't make it that obvious. You guys are helping us win. Like, come on. Like that was just like, fuck. But then there were so many other, I don't know this, but it felt like, so I'm not saying like for sure, but it felt like the flags actually ended up being very unbalanced in Philly's favor, but they were all like inarguable, blatant fucking penalties. Like the one offensive holding, it was the offensive lineman tackle, like almost perfect form, like same foot, same shoulder, tackled the defensive lineman. It was like, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah,
type
exactly.
Of stuff. So, yeah, I loved it. I thought it was awesome to see Philly's defense, who like we had talked about was like it was gonna come down to Philly's offense, or Philly's defense versus Casey's offense. We felt like because Casey's defense is fucking good and Philly's offense is fucking good. So it was like it's really gonna come down to those two. And it did, like, realistically.
I think,
like,
I 100% agree.
Yeah, because, like, Philly's defense looked like they were KC's defense.
Yes.
like, they were playing the way KC's defense had been playing for the latter part of the year. And, like, they fucking man. They were swarming.
There was just
everywhere.
Yeah.
The Chiefs
Mahomes had nothing.
They literally looked like they were just in over their head. Like they had absolutely no business being in that game. Is how it looked. Like they were just looked confused. Like how many times they panned to Andy Reid and he was literally sitting there like this, just like what is going on?
Yeah.
What is happening right now? Pat Mahomes looked flustered. Like, how often do you see him look flustered?
Yeah.
Travis Kelce looked like he was going to cry at halftime.
Yeah.
Like, it was just wild. Nobody expected that to go the way it did.
No,
I would be willing to bet. I don't feel like most Philly fans, if you would have pulled them, would have thought they were going to just beat the fucking brakes off of KC.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, most of them probably would have said, yeah, they think they're going to win the game, which is understandable, and that's what you should probably be doing and feeling like as a fan base. But that bad? I don't think anybody would have put that on a fucking bingo card.
No.
So it was dope. I loved every second. And
yeah, no, it was it was fun. I was like, okay, it's a little boring towards the end, but at the same time, it was just like good for the Eagles. It was fun to see a team that good go to head with a 2-time back-to-back Super Bowl winner right there and just outshine them in every way.
Yeah, for sure.
The 22 points really wasn't 22 points until the end of the fourth quarter, right?
And the Eagles had like clearly kind of let up a little bit. Like they weren't doing the same. But what's crazy is, and this is if they even did blitz towards the later part of the game, because technically, like, you can have packages that aren't necessarily considered blitzes. If you only rush 4 people, it's not considered a blitz.
Okay,
realistically,
gotcha.
like I would argue that, like, if you're bringing a corner or a safety, but you're dropping a D lineman, I would argue that is still a blitz.
Yeah, I would agree.
You're only rushing 4, so. If they did it, it wasn't until like partway through the fourth quarter where they brought 5.
Oh, gotcha.
They only rushed with 4 people the entire game, that part of the game that mattered, at least, right? And if they did bring a 5th, it was not until like partway through the 4th. Gotcha. And then at that point, because we saw, I don't remember if it was a safety or a corner, we saw somebody come off the edge that wasn't a D lineman, and we were like, why are you blitzing now? You should have just gone this whole game without blitzing and being like, not only did we just destroy you, but we only rushed 4 guys at you the entire fucking time, and you guys couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
like that would have been cool. But I mean, even still, like, it was wild. It was cool to watch, and I'm so happy for Saquon Barkley to get that ring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though he honestly had very minimal impact on the game, he didn't like he was like under 60 yards or something. I think was total what he had.
But I think just the threat of him being on the field opened up so many different things. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
yeah.
I thought it was great.
I thought so too.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah. On to next year.
On to the next season. All right. That brings us to our wellness journey check-in number 14. Ryan, what's some successes and challenges you had these past 2 weeks?
Well, successes where I am down again.
All right.
Which was cool. So I was happy to keep seeing the scale moving in my favor, especially because like I had texted you on Wednesday that I was officially down 20 pounds. Fluctuated a little bit back up this morning when I weighed, and I think that partly goes into some of what I'm going to say that my challenges were. I've been dealing with a thigh injury. That's very weird to me. I have no idea when it happened. I literally I don't know how it happened. I don't know what's wrong, but it's on like the side of my thigh. But like right now, like it hurts to just push on it. Like it feels like I got hit by something.
Oh.
When I'm just like, it feels bruised, like when I'm just pressing on it.
Yeah.
But then when I'm like doing certain things, and I don't even know what the certain things necessarily are, will aggravate it, and then that has like hindered me. So I noticed it at the gym Monday morning, and I was just like, the hell, that's weird. Like, why does my thigh hurt? And I like got through my workout and whatnot, and then didn't notice it. Didn't like pay attention to it. Didn't notice anything the rest of Monday. Didn't notice anything all of Tuesday. Did a garage workout Tuesday night, and I was doing, and this is what I'm wondering if I did it on, but it's just weird that I wouldn't have felt it in the moment. Last Friday at the gym, one of the things was like doing like a broad jump and then back pedal.
Yeah.
And I go hard. Mm-hmm. And so like I'm full extension, jumping. I'm jumping as far as I can, land, come back. And I'm just wondering if I somehow messed something up then. But I'd like I said, that was like the third round of that workout, and I went through the rest of it and without any pain, didn't notice anything at all weekend, like nothing until I was at the gym Monday morning. So that, I don't know, but that's what I was then doing Tuesday night, where I realized I was like, ow, shit, that hurts.
Yeah.
And so I stopped doing that. But yeah, and then so I was just like, fuck, and then I was like hurting Wednesday. So I took Wednesday off. I took Thursday off. I went back to the gym yesterday afternoon for my third of the week. So challenges, obviously that, I ended up, that caused me to drop the amount that I've been going to the gym for the last few weeks, was at least 4, or not to the gym, but working out at least, was at least 4 times, if not 5 or maybe 6. So I got my 3 in. I got the 3 that we've kind of said, like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're getting 3 at least every week. Couple other challenges was I don't necessarily fully know why, but I've been craving bad things a little bit more recently. I haven't fully given in. I did eat a maple bar yesterday because it was just handed to me by another teacher, and I was walking down the hallway and I was like, well, it's already in my hand, so I can't say no. And so I ate that, and from Chuck's Donuts in Renton.
Oh, you can't say no.
So fucking good too. I was like, holy shit. But so like that, we went out to dinner on Wednesday, then we had made steaks for Valentine's Day last night. So it's like not making terrible choices, just eating a little bit more out of how I have been for the last 2-3 months. That stuff, and then certain things, like with the not exercising as like regularly as I had been this week, I feel like my water intake also dropped.
Gotcha.
So I feel like part of that was the just under half pound raise that I went from Wednesday to this morning. I was like, more or less just like, hadn't gone to the restroom yet. Yeah. First off. And also, I'm sure I'm a little bit of water retention because I'm not as hydrated as I typically am.
Gotcha.
Like throughout the week. So yeah, those were my things. So I weighed in, and I was 221.3, which put me 20.1 pounds down from when we started this in August. And then this morning I was 221.8.
Okay.
So I was another, half pound or so. No. Yeah, half pound. So
nice.
Yeah. So I'm right in that same range though. And I was like, honestly, I don't even care that I'm a little bit higher than I was on Wednesday, because I'm like, given all of the factors and stuff, I was like, I'm good with that. Even that, what I weighed this morning, is still almost a half pound down from what I was last time. So hey, a loss is a loss. So I'm taking it.
A loss is a loss for sure.
What about you?
The positives, staying consistent at the gym. I'm at least getting four in a week. Last week I got 6 in, and so it's just been very consistent with that. I'm listening to my body and making sure I'm not pushing too hard on certain workouts. If I'm feeling a ache or pain in that, I kind of just change it up a little bit and still going. So that part's been really good. Been to like what you said, I've been doing a good job about staying hydrated, drinking lots of water. Some challenges, just again, I need a stretch, so I'm gonna reach out to you outside this, and because
I thought so many damn times too this week. I was like, oh yeah, I need to send that to Tim, and then I'm like, I'm still trying to think through how I'm gonna do it, because I'm like, do I just film myself doing what I do so that you can actually see it? Because I'm like, if I tell you what I'm doing, you might not know what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I could Google it, but no.
Yeah.
I was going to reach out to you separate of this, just because I do need to get that going. Just a lot of the aches and pains are like from the knees to the ankles, and that's been causing some issues. But other than that, not a lot of challenges for me this last 2 weeks. It's been feeling really good. I got really excited about being down below 250 on our last weigh-in. And so weigh-in today, I'm down 2.6 pounds, total of 15.7 over our journey. So I'm now at 247.2. So
hell yeah, dude.
Moving on down.
That's fucking awesome.
Moving on down, and
what'd you start
feeling
at?
Good. 262.2 or something, 260.1.
Hell yeah.
So
that's awesome, man.
It's coming off.
Sweet.
I'm excited.
Hell yeah, you should be.
Feeling better, just like feeling better in some of the clothes I've been
Same,
wearing,
dude.
and
Yeah.
and the gym it's not easy, but it's easier to go to the gym
Yeah.
and get it done. There's some
Absolutely.
days where I'm just like, ugh.
Oh,
But
yeah.
once like I'm in the parking lot, I'm like, I'm ready. Like, so it's just
The hardest part of working out is going.
yeah,
Like seriously, the hardest part of working out and exercise in general is getting there.
Yeah.
So just like making sure you have what you need, and then you just make no excuses and you show up. Once you're there in the parking lot, you're not just gonna be like, skirt, and turn around. You know, like
That's too expensive
Yeah.
to turn around
Yeah.
and not do it.
yeah. Once you're there, like you're going. So that's definitely the hardest part about it.
Yeah. No, it's just been nice because like I've been able to still have cheat meals and still lose. You know, still enjoying some good food, and
Yeah.
that's not necessarily good for me, but being consistent, drinking the water, keeping the weight going down.
Absolutely.
So it's been good.
For sure.
That brings us to
Belts.
Ryan. What do you want to talk about?
I got a handful of things. Oh, well, first and foremost, Jay picked Gunther.
Yeah, you
I
did.
said in another big spot of an opening to a show.
Yeah.
So once again, we went 3 in a row. 3 in a row WWE main shows. We went Raw after Rumble, SmackDown after Rumble, and then this last Monday where he started the show, came out with his entrance, got a huge fucking pop and reaction, and got asked for an encore of his fucking theme song. So that was something we were talking about last week. That's like, we've never seen that before. Well, it fucking happened again on Monday.
Yeah.
Right. And then in the midst of this, which I actually really liked that they did, so that this didn't get stale or anything, was that Gunther then attacked Jay
That's
during it.
I said,
right?
I was like, that is so creative.
Yes,
It's like
it
they were
was.
anticipating it.
Yep.
And put it into the storyline.
Yep. Yeah, it was great. And it also, I think, plays to that story that Jay's overlooked, Jay's an underdog, not being taken serious, and that's the story that Gunther's trying to spin. But also, he just showed his hand by attacking him, because that shows, like, the action of him attacking him in that moment shows that Gunther sees Jay as a threat now. Mm-hmm. Right? So, I thought it was awesome. I really liked the whole thing and how, like, he got beat down, and usually what we've seen recently in those moments is, like, that's kind of the end of it, right? It's just the person's all beat up, and then like, you move on and you hear an update later or whatever. That's happened quite a bit. Jay fucking gets a microphone. It reminded me of the Jeff and Taker ladder match.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where, like, Taker just fucking demolishes him in a good match, but demolishes him in the end, and then Jeff's like, Taker!
Yep.
That thing, and then, like, the earned respect between those two. But that's kind of what it reminded me of, was like, Jay just got his ass beat, and then he just grabs the mic, and I probably shouldn't say this. You, me, WrestleMania. And throws mine. I was like, let's fucking go. Because I had said last week too on our episode, you said you wonder how long they're going to play off, like, keep us wondering. And I was like, I don't think it's going to take long.
Yeah.
Well, we got it on Raw. We know who the Men's Royal Rumble winner is going after, and he chose Gunther right out the gate right then. So,
Yeah.
which just clarified some things, set up more storylines for Elimination Chamber and Cody and all that whole thing too. So
Yeah. No, I agree. I absolutely loved the intro. I was like, all right, Jay's getting more moments to shine. And then I love the twist with Gunther attacking. And it just caught me off guard. It literally caught me off guard. And I was just like, dude, I'm here for this. And it's just, I think this was the right decision for Jay to go against Gunther. The storyline's already there. He's gone after Gunther a couple times and has lost. You know, there was the Intercontinental title he's lost, World Heavyweight title he's lost. So
there's been seeds planted for a year now almost with all
now
this,
it's just the babyface. Can he get over that, win the big one?
Yeah.
and then over someone he's been struggling against.
Yeah.
So I think this feud is going to get very personal, and I like that they made a quick decision with it so that they can let it brew up until WrestleMania, which is in late April now. It used to be early April, late March.
True.
Now we're going to the later part of April. So we got
little over 2 months now.
Yeah, I think
from today.
Yesterday was 64 days, so 63 days till WrestleMania now. So it's gonna be great.
Yep, we're building. We're finally building.
Yep,
we're building towards it.
All right, my thing I want to talk about. Lyra was done dirty. I fully believe that Lyra was done dirty. This is her first match, other than the Royal Rumble, since becoming Intercontinental Champion, and she loses to Bayley. First of all, I don't think Lyra needs to be in the match. She's her own champion. She should have something going towards her because it's the road to WrestleMania, right? But no, they put her in it and then make her lose. And then you have Roxanne Perez in the crowd who's feuding with Bayley on NXT. They have a match today at Vengeance Day. They could have easily had Roxanne interfere
and give Lyra the win.
And so it doesn't make Bayley look weak.
Yeah.
It builds into their feud and then gives Lyra a win. You have your first ever women's Intercontinental Champion not have anything done since she's won the title. And then this happens. And similar to what happened on SmackDown with Chelsea Green and Naomi being in the match, two champions against each other.
Yep.
And Chelsea Green loses that match.
Yep. I literally, you hit it right on the head, man. I said, why do the women's mid-card title holders keep getting buried?
Yes.
I said, I get Bayley over Lyra, kind of.
It makes sense.
For the sake of what the match that was to get into is for. I get that.
Yes,
I get
fully. Yes.
Bayley over Lyra because Lyra is the IC. Like, she should have her own thing going on. The mid-card title holder, really, neither of them should be in an Elimination Chamber situation to where they could also then get a main event, main title shot, right?
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense to me. Naomi over Chelsea makes zero sense to me.
Zero.
There is zero reason. Okay, I won't say zero. There is a very small percentage of a reason that Naomi should be in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
That's it. And I think part of... I don't necessarily have it as a talking point, so I'm actually going to wait to fully get into that to see if you have it as a talking point. But I think there was something that alluded to some stuff that I might... If it plays out this way, I might be okay with it.
Yeah.
But still, I'm just like... Okay, put two other people than Chelsea Green and Lyra in these matches then and have them do their own fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to have Naomi win it anyways, put fucking somebody else. Put somebody else into that match.
100%
Same with Lyra. Like, don't have Lyra in that situation. Have somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? And it was just, I had the same thing. It was just like, why is this the situation? Like, you have your two main title or your mid-card title people both just get squashed, essentially.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there weren't squash matches, obviously, but they got buried by that situation.
Yeah.
And
how does that make them look strong?
Yeah.
At all.
You're champions.
Yeah.
And then I think that's what bothers me the most is you just made Naomi look better than Chelsea Green.
Yeah. I just... They're so quick to do all these weird finishes to make people look... So no one looks weak. But then you have champions and you don't do anything.
Yeah.
And you make them look weak.
Make them cleanly lose.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Those are the ones it makes sense for. I would not be okay with interfering. Even Ivy Nile had issues with Lyra. Have her interfere, cause Lyra the loss. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, like you have Ivy interfere, cost Lyra that opportunity, and then that starts an IC feud between Lyra and Ivy.
I've been
Great
way better
writing.
with that.
That would have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But no, you just had it cleanly happen.
Yeah,
Right.
I was very upset about that. That's it.
Or you have fucking Piper Niven try to interfere to help Chelsea, and it costs Chelsea.
Yes.
And then you build off of Piper Niven eliminating Chelsea from the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Like, there's storyline you could have built with that.
Yeah.
We need to be in the writer's room, Tim.
I
It's fucking
honestly,
bullshit.
I was very upset about both nights.
All right. Well, I'm just going to stick in the same vein. Why would you cut the feed on Raw when things are happening when it's on Netflix?
Yeah. I don't get that.
You don't have, it's not like there's TV time of something else being eaten into. It's live on Netflix. It can literally go as long as it needs to. It wasn't at the 3-hour mark by any means. You weren't even close to it. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something this week.
Yeah, it was
like it was a shorter
week.
show. Why are you cutting when the New Day attacks Ray?
Yeah.
And it was like immediately. Like they both, like Xavier Woods barely got in onto the beatdown before
You blink and you missed it.
before the
Because
tape cut.
I caught it. I was like, oh, wait.
Yeah. And then
then
I was like, wait,
gone.
what just happened? It was that over.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? So, like, why is that happening? That's something that bothers me a lot, because it's like, you're live on Netflix.
Yeah.
You have no time constraint.
Yeah.
Like, truly, you don't have a time constraint. Because it's not mattering to Netflix. You're not eating up their live airing time, right? Like,
Have anything live.
it doesn't make any sense. So why is it cutting
Yeah.
to that? And then, like, what annoys me even more is, like, I'll every now and then Google just like the results of Raw, because I try to wait. I'll like jot some notes down, but I'll try to wait until I see SmackDown, just so that I don't like fill it out fully from just one show.
Yeah,
right. And so like I'll then re-look up just to like refresh myself and be like, oh yeah, what happened? And like the pictures and some of the clips I'm seeing on like the WWE page of their results is from shit that happened in that segment after it cut. So it's like them both beating him up in the opposite corner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? So that's even more annoying, because I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why are we cutting early?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You're not waiting for fucking the new episode of Law and Order SVU to come on. Like, there's no fucking dog show or anything, right? The Puppy Bowl's not waiting to come on to live TV that you have to cut away from.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So that pissed me off. I didn't like that.
No, I agree with that, especially because they've made it like a big point. The time's flexible. The show will be whatever it needs to be to get the point across, and
Yeah.
you're cutting out the points.
So like, unless part of that, like maybe they're supposed to cut before that,
Yeah.
and then that was supposed to be like the KO attacking Cody type thing, where it's like it comes out later, but then it's like then you flubbed it still, because then you showed part of it live and then cut.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
either way, it's annoying.
Yeah, and I didn't watch it live, so they left it in. Like, they could have cut it out. If it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That said, my next talking point was Raw matches cooked, every single one.
Yeah, they did.
I think on paper, this was the best Raw of the year from a match standpoint, not from storyline standpoint, because I did have some qualms with it, but every match I was like, yes,
Dude, the Ray Logan Paul match was really good.
Yeah,
I really
and there was
enjoyed
some
that.
parts where you could tell Logan was like a little messed up on, but the match
it's his first match back outside of the Rumble.
Yeah.
But the Rumble doesn't really count as a match in that regard, because there's very minimal like spots for each person in it, right? So you're not putting on a full match. A lot of it is for each competitor in it. It doesn't look like it when you're watching it, because there's so many guys in the ring.
Yeah.
But each competitor has a couple of like multiple minutes of just laying on the apron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the Royal Rumble, because that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But this is his first match back since
SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that was the last time we saw him, right? So even with those ring rust moments, almost, like, still looked good.
Yeah. No,
I mean, Penta had that in his first match.
Yeah, exactly.
And
we loved the match.
And he hadn't been out for
nearly as long.
Logan Paul had. So
yeah.
I mean, he just the shit that he can do in the ring, being someone that is not a trained WWE wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, he is now, obviously, but you know what I mean.
But
like, he wasn't like raised up into this, or he didn't go through the years of training for this, right? Like, his was just like a random celebrity spot out of the crowd one time that just like fucking sparked this shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed every single match, and I was like, hey, it can be done. Let's keep this going. Why can't we have every match be good? Like,
Yeah.
So just wanted to call that out.
No, I totally agree. Raw's matches were the fucking tag match was.
Oh, yeah.
It was really good. Outside of the finish, that pissed me off, and that's my next point. DQs on both shows in title spots not the fact that the DQs don't make sense, like for what the DQ is, but the way the DQs happened in both spots makes zero sense.
Yeah.
Like, it was the one on Raw made even less sense.
That one
it was
pissed me
literally
off.
him, like, he just grabs the title and just belts one of them in the head when, like, you're in a position to win the title, but you just cost yourself the title. Mm-hmm. You cost yourself the win, you cost yourself the title. Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
The SmackDown one, at first I was like, oh shit, this might start another storyline here. But then Nia Jax was, like, happy that Candice LeRae cost her the title.
Yeah.
That I was like, if Candice LeRae was thinking she was doing something good, and then Nia attacks Candice, that makes more fucking sense to me. Yeah. I was like, then I'm okay with it, right? Because that's Candice LeRae getting up and interfering, costing Nia the title. Nia then gets pissed off and attacks Candice. Now that's storyline.
Yeah.
All you just did was, oh, you cost me the title? Haha, good job, we're best friends. That makes no sense. Yeah. Makes zero sense at all. The only shining light out of it is that we get Trishany Stratusness. Trishany Stratusness. That's what I meant. That's hard to say.
Yeah.
Trishany Stratusness, because they're now apparently going to tag together at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. I think I agree. I fully agree with you. Like why be happy? I'm a little disappointed that, like, I'm not begging to see Nia Jax more, but there was a big storyline of Tiffany being her best friend and cashing in on her, and then it's just kind of been forgotten about. And then she had to earn a title shot to go against Tiffany Stratton, and then it's just kind of like a blow off to a tag team match. I'm excited for the tag team match. It's going to be cool to see Trish Stratus.
Tiffany.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
But it just a head scratcher. Like, why?
And the match itself between Tiffany and Nia was
good.
Actually a really good match.
Yeah.
Like,
agreed.
There were a lot of good moments in that match too, and then for it to end the way that it ended, and again, like you said, like, not lean in. There's, like, they didn't lean into that story.
Yeah.
They had the opportunity to then, like I said, build a story in a different way, and then get Nia separated, or to get Tiffany separated from Nia.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have just done that, it would have been like, okay, yeah, we didn't get to see like a final thing between them, but it also is okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And they didn't do either of those things. No. Now all they did was, it's like, okay, we're still not going to get a final to this Tiffany Stratton Nia Jax thing, because it's not going to happen in a tag match.
No.
Right? Like, that's not going to make any sense. So now we're just extending this out even farther, and like, fuck, man.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Just annoying.
Next thing I got, just kind of building off of that, Charlotte Flair chose who she's going against at WrestleMania, and it's Tiffy time.
She did.
And I mean, either match she would have chose between Rhea Ripley or Tiffany Stratton was going to be a great match, but we've already seen her against Rhea twice at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. So I think she chose right, and it's going to be a banger of a match. It's going to be toasted. You got two of the most athletic women going head to head at WrestleMania, so I'm very excited about this.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think the match at WrestleMania is going to be dope. I think this was like the obvious, put the female GOAT against the current, like, star of the female of the women's division. I think that's the no-brainer move.
The way it got to play out, though, is Tiffany's got to win.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yes, I will be fucking pissed if they give Charlotte the title here. And part of that, again, is, and I had this down before you said that, before you brought this talking point up, was, once again, it was flat as fuck.
Like her pop.
There was like almost no response to her from the crowd when she said that she's picking Tiffany Stratton. Dude, literally nobody gives a fuck about Charlotte Flair right now. And it's so obvious, and it's sad, honestly. Because the crowd was just like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there was no pop from the crowd when that announcement was made. Even though, like, I just agreed with you. Like, I think the match is going to be dope. But there's nothing about Charlotte Flair that's over in any way right now. And it's just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So, like, I get that, like they're working with what they have. Like, there's not a ton of options that they have because she did win the Royal Rumble, so she has to be in this spot. But it's just like, oh man, I bet, like, hindsight's 2020. But I bet if they could, the company would be going back and letting somebody else win the fucking Royal Rumble right now because this is not happening the way they wanted it to.
Yeah.
Just to kind of build off of what I said last week.
Yeah, and you don't see a lot of heels win the Royal Rumble typically. It's usually babyface, and I like we talked about last week. I think they thought it was going to be different, and it hasn't gone that way. And then now they're building into this heel, but you're not going to get that pop, and so I agree with you.
I hope that they're able to build this up, like I want Charlotte to just antagonize Tiffany Stratton for the next 2 months and just fucking like make her life a fucking living hell.
Yeah.
Have her interfere in the tag match at Elimination Chamber and cost them the match.
Yeah.
Like have it be Tiffany's the one that gets pinned. Like just start making her look hella weak as a champion. And Charlotte playing that like, oh, I'm a veteran. I know what I'm doing thing. I'm the greatest of all time. You're just this kid that's fresh and doesn't know what the hell she's doing thing. If she can lean into that, you might be able to build this. But still, the majority of the build is going to be people just rallying behind Tiffany.
Yeah.
It's not going to be on Charlotte's part, but Charlotte can definitely play the part to be able to build that on the other side to make Charlotte then losing at WrestleMania a huge moment.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up is it's going to be hard to build a storyline from this, but you have to lean into Flair's like ultimate villain side and go full on.
Like there can be no reins put on this. It has to be take the leash off and let her just fucking cook.
Yeah, because she's an amazing heel. She does a great job.
Joker of SmackDown's DC.
Yeah,
let her be the ultimate villain.
But you're right. It can't just be like her talking. Like yes, berate her, belittle her, but you have to be attacking as well. So I agree. I agree with that fully.
I'm gonna stay in this same sort of category to a point because this involves Tiffany Stratton as well, but I was unaware when I turned on my VPN last night and that I was going to be watching SmackDown live, right? I didn't know that I was going to be actually watching SmackDown Bomb because Tiffany Stratton hit a fucking beautiful Swanton Bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. And then Jacob Fatu turned around and did it to Strowman in the main event. And I was like, what is happening? Like, I was watching that and I was like, oh my God, I gotta get my phone. I gotta put this in my notes when Tiffany Stratton hit it. I was like, what the fuck? That was fucking beautiful. I have never seen a woman hit a Swanton bomb. At least not like that. To my memory, like I can't think of seeing a woman hit a swanton.
No, I can't think of anyone either.
That comes to my mind. And then to hit it like fucking vintage Jeff Hardy. Holy shit. And then Jacob Fatu's big ass hitting that fucking move. I was like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, I thought it was awesome. So Swanton Bomb will always be forever one of my favorite moves just because of who it's attached to, and that's Jeff Hardy being like one of my favorite. I'm not going to say my favorite total, but one of my top 3 probably favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I just thought it was kind of an ode without it necessarily being an ode. It was, to me, it's an ode to the man who made that move what it is.
Yeah.
And I thought it was dope, and they both hit it fucking gorgeous. Like,
yeah,
they both hit it gorgeous for people who you would not expect to then hit that move.
Yeah, no, yeah. I really enjoyed both of those fully. Yeah, it was so good. All right, my last point is not anything women related. So did you want to circle back to what you were talking about? We were talking about Naomi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. I should have written it down. Or wrote it down. The only way I'm going to be okay with this now is with that video package that they showed, which was also kind of flubbed because it took forever for it to actually turn on, and they were just like standing there awkwardly. But anyways, maybe have the person with the remote be the one that's actually controlling it in the future. Just saying, because somebody else fucked up. Yeah. He clicked the button that was supposed to have somebody else then hit play, and they didn't hit play when they were supposed to. Or it was like buffering. Either way, it just didn't play out very well. But the video package obviously showing the aftermath of them loading Jade into the ambulance and then panning and seeing Liv and Raquel walk away laughing.
Yeah.
Obviously sets it up and makes it think that, oh, they must have been the ones that did it. Bullshit. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. It's still Naomi. Mm-hmm. Naomi did it because what was her immediate reaction to that? Was, I knew it. I knew it was them. They tried to frame me.
Yeah.
It's Naomi. So if this comes out and ends up being Naomi's in this match, and I don't know, maybe you get a little Jade returning and attacking Naomi in it and costing her, whatever. Like, that's where I'm like, they can spin this and play this to where it makes sense and you get Jade returning.
Yeah.
That would be the only way I'm good with Naomi being in the Elimination Chamber, is if that plays out.
Yeah.
If nothing with this ends up happening, and if Raquel Rodriguez ends up being the other fucking person in the women's, I'm going to be annoyed. But it's probably going to be, because I know she's in the match on Monday. But because then you're going to end up with Liv and Raquel and Jade and Naomi, and they're going to be, and it's going to be fucking stupid. But if it leads to Jade returning and it coming to fruition that it was Naomi all along, then I'm like, okay, we have story here and we can build towards WrestleMania with this.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'm good with it. That's what I wanted to say.
I like it. When I saw the video, I was like, well, it's not really new knowledge that Liv and Raquel were there. Like, we knew that, but
yeah.
So it definitely leans into what you're saying. And now I'm feeling more and more like you were right, because my prediction was that Bianca attacked Jade.
Yeah.
And you said Naomi. So now I'm leaning into what you're saying and believe that you are right.
Yeah. I hope so.
All right. My last thing is, I think it was the wrong move to not have Jacob in the Elimination Chamber. It's
I knew this was going to be your last one, because that's my last one too. I have Fatu was robbed.
Yes.
I said I'm annoyed, but at least it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to happen,
yes.
which is what I had texted you.
You have a rising star, like a hot star. Why even damper it at all? Like,
yep.
He would show out in that Elimination Chamber. It fits with who's in the chamber, because now we know who they're going against. I think Priest is a very odd man out now, like, in that chamber.
I was thinking that too, but him and McIntyre have history.
Yeah.
He has history with really everybody but CM Punk.
Yeah.
And Cena, but like, he has history with Seth.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They put on some couple good matches together over the World Heavyweight. Drew, same thing. I mean, the Priest-Seth was the false kick out that we talked about last week.
True.
Right? So, like, there is history there, so I get that. I 100% agree with what you're saying, though. Like, it should have been Jacob.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think Priest does have history with all of those people, but then when you put it who they're gonna go against, Cody.
Yeah.
Priest is that odd man. Like, I can see
that's true
Seth
too.
going against Cody. I could see Drew. I could see CM Punk.
Yeah.
I could see all those.
And Jacob.
I could see that.
Yep,
and
because they built to that before the match even happened.
I don't want Jacob to lose that fire that's under him, because the fans are in love with him.
Yeah.
He gets a big pop with everyone that he's facing up against. So either A, why did we put him in that situation to not win that?
I feel like I know where it's leading to, and it's leading to Jacob versus Solo at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah.
because the accidental spike to Tama, Jacob gets out, and well, I mean, first off, earlier, like he stormed out of the ring like he was gonna go kick Solo's ass,
Yeah.
and then he just confronts
kinda
him like,
caught me off
"Where the
guard."
hell have you been?" type of thing, and then he just like walks away from him like "fuck you" type of thing. Like
Yeah.
you can tell Jacob's fed up, and I mean they're honestly they're playing this right now in like the way that they almost should have played Solo turning on Roman.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where it's like because they like planted the seeds of Solo being fed up, but then it just kind of like, oh, it happened. You're like, wait, what? Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's just running the show. But this is actually like showing like the progressive story of like Jacob overtaking Solo type of thing.
True.
So like I'm okay with that to a point, and then like Jacob's gonna be able to play this as like Solo coming out in the first place cost him the shot.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how he'll be able to play it without that actually like, because he did come out initially and try to help him, but then Cody came out, and then that whole thing led to what it ended up being was Jacob confronting Solo for hitting Tama, and then him getting trucked and leading to Priest winning. So
The good news is Braun Strowman didn't win.
yes, that is the good news.
So yeah.
Which sucks because it's like I like Braun Strowman, but I can't stand him at the same time.
Yeah.
Because he's so just like over the top and cheesy as the big monster villain. Ugh. I'm like, I miss him. I miss him with the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
I wish he would have joined the Wyatt Six
Yeah.
and like just had that part of it. You know what I mean? Like that's what annoys me. However, there is an interesting thing. This is not one of my talking points, so I'm just throwing this in real quick before we move on. He's on SmackDown. We haven't seen him yet, but the Wyatt Six we know is on SmackDown, and Alexa Bliss is on SmackDown.
And there was a
little Wyatt Six
shenanigans.
glitch
Yep.
there with her backstage, and she's been carrying around the Bray Wyatt doll. I just had a whole fucking situation there. I don't know what was going on. I was like, Way Riot. That's Rhea Ripley. Ruby Riot. What is happening? What's going on? No, they had the, she's been carrying around the Bray Wyatt doll.
Right, Lily?
Yeah. And so it's just interesting. And then the glitch happens. Like, that's not an accident of when that took place. So I don't know. Maybe we'll end up seeing the Wyatt Six turning into
The Wyatt 8.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess their name is Six, like
SICKS.
Yeah.
But you know what it alludes to, and that Bray Wyatt's spirit is like the sixth member.
Yes.
But then you get Alexa Bliss and maybe Bray Strowman. Fuck me.
We got Banger of the Week now. Ryan, what do you got?
This might surprise you. I don't know. Just because of how good all the matches on Raw were. But I'm actually going to a SmackDown match.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it does surprise me.
Yeah. I really enjoyed LA Knight and The Miz.
It was a really good match.
I really enjoyed the match. I thought this was one of the best things The Miz has been in or a part of, counting like the pre-match, like back and forth between them. Like, I really thought that it was one of the best things he's been a part of in a while, because I really didn't care for the whole him and the Final Testament Wyatt Six thing. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of like he's kind of was being used as like a comedic pawn there, and it's like he's owed more than that for what he has given this business. Yeah. And so like putting him in a legit actual match, what could potentially spark a feud between the two of them now that he's on SmackDown, and I really enjoyed the match. I was like glued to it. I really enjoyed every bit of it that I saw. And yeah, I just like kudos to The Miz, and especially kudos to The Miz for like being in that situation and still just like agreeing with taking the L, because like definitely didn't have to. He definitely could have knocked LA Knight off there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was refreshing for both characters. Somebody that it wasn't the same person LA Knight was getting into the vocal barbs against, and it wasn't him and Shinsuke, going back and forth. I mean, obviously Shinsuke was involved there. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was really good. I think what heightened the match was the promos leading into it, and it felt really good. So agree with you, that fantastic match. Yeah. My banger of the week is Io and Dakota versus Liv and Raquel tag team match.
It was really good.
That match really shined Io and Liv and even Dakota, and Raquel.
Yeah.
It was overall,
it was all around. It was a good match.
Overall, very, very solid match. I just think it fits perfect. They shined bright leading into Elimination Chamber, and now Io getting a chance at Rhea for the championship. So I hope it somehow gets her into that match with whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, and add Io to that, because she is so good. Rhea's so good. I'm sure whoever that Elimination Chamber winner is will just level it out perfectly. So
for sure. Can I have I'm going to throw in just like a random runner-up. Not necessarily runner-up for Banger of the Week, but just something that I'm surprised you didn't mention. Ricky Starks.
Oh, he's
showing up in showing up in NXT.
I know.
I was surprised you didn't throw that out there.
I'm super.
I was waiting for it.
I am super excited about that. I think he's right where he belongs. He's got the charisma. He's great in the ring, so he's gonna shine in WWE.
Well, and his whole like promo from the stands was also a dig at AEW.
Oh yeah,
at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is where the best in the world are, or whatever he said. You know, like, oh, this is where I should be, type of thing. And it's like, well, that was a complete dig at AEW then too.
Yeah,
so
because he's like, because their slogan is "This is where the best wrestle" and everything. So definitely saw that. But no, super excited for Ricky Stark. So that brings us to the belts question of the week. So I asked you to create a match stipulation.
You did.
And who would you book for that match in the first ever of this match stipulation?
Yeah. So I kind of merged. This was harder for me. Because I'm like, I can't really think of anything like that unique or that hasn't already been done type of thing. That is just like it stand on its own type thing. So what I came up with was an Iron Man match.
Okay.
But, and here's the stipulation piece to it. So it's an Iron Man match, but it's after every fall, right? Because an Iron Man match is just whoever gets the most falls in the allotted time.
Yeah.
Correct? So it's after each time a fall or submission or whatever it is, right, occurs, the match stipulation changes.
Oh.
Right.
While maintaining the Iron Man.
Yeah. So it's an Iron Man match,
60-minute,
but it's like
whatever.
All right, and it starts as just one-on-one.
Yeah,
just a one-on-one singles match. Whoever gets that first fall, then it goes to a tables match.
Okay.
Then whoever gets that, then it goes to whatever. Then it goes to a steel cage. Then it goes to a Hell in a Cell. You know what I mean? Like just things back and forth, like in within the hour, and it's like laid out. So you like already know. It's almost like a game show of like you win and you move on to the next thing. You know what I mean? Like that type of idea. Or I also had another little thing in it that like to get fan engagement, they could almost mix that with a Taboo Tuesday sort of idea where it's like during the match, the fans are voting for what the next stipulation would be.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was like, that would be fucking cool. And who would I book in it? If it ain't going to be for the main title, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens.
I like it.
What a fucking way to end their feud. You know, like the final, you're just going through the fucking however many stages of just absolute hell.
Yeah. Dude, I like that idea. That's a super cool idea.
I thought it was, like I said, it's not like not like original in and of itself because it's just using all of the other stipulations, but the whole thing when you look at it, it's like that's something that hasn't been done before. So I
mean, wrestling's been around forever. How like it's when I thought I asked this question and then I was like, shit. It's a lot harder to come up with something because what hasn't been done.
It's easy.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I did come up with something.
Perfect.
And I really like
this. Completely.
This is
unique.
In a sense.
Okay.
In a sense.
I like it. What do we got?
Kind of like you, I built off of a previous stipulation, but
hard not to.
I named this match.
Okay.
It's called the Gauntlet Pack Challenge.
Okay.
So think gauntlet match. All right. So the rules of the match is set like a gauntlet match rules. You know, you win, go on to the next round. Whoever wins that goes on to the next round, et cetera, et cetera. It's a set of 5 rounds.
Okay.
Each round adds the corresponding amount of superstars. So you start off one-on-one.
Shit.
You pin whoever. You move on to the next round. Now two more wrestlers
people come out.
It becomes a triple threat.
Oh.
Then next round becomes a fatal 4-way, a 5-way, and then ultimately a 6-pack challenge. So
Yeah.
it's ultimately 16 wrestlers. So I had to name 16 wrestlers. But also, each round, only one wrestler moves on. So even out of the triple threat match, whoever gets that pinfall moves on. The other 2 eliminated.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me, right? Because it's singles, it's one person wins.
Yeah.
Triple threat, it's one person wins. Fatal 4, 1.
Yep.
Fatal 5, same thing.
So...
And then does the 6th turn into an over the top rope battle royal?
No, it does not.
Oh, okay.
But what I like
What about a lumberjack match?
God, no. But I guess with the amount of
Inside a
wrestlers.
Punjabi prison.
Oh, God. But what I like about this is it takes away that advantage of the fresh superstar because there's multiple people coming in
Yes.
that will help interrupt a pinfall.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it keeps it fresh. And
it turns into like whoever wins the singles match could almost like get thrown out of the ring and then
fresh guys beat each other up.
kind of hide while those 2 go at it, and then he gets in. Well, he has a little bit of an advantage then at that point. I like that.
100%. Yeah. So I really like the idea. So who would I like to compete in this? So I had to name 16 stars, but I would start it off with Sammy and KO, which is funny. Huh. But I'm adding Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, Bronson Reed, Sheamus, Braun Breaker, Penta, Chad Gable, LA Knight, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, AJ Styles, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes. And I purposely left out Jimmy because I don't want any gang ups. None of these people are going to pair up in this match. It's 16 stars after each other. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a really cool idea.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's dope.
I'm going to pitch it to Triple H.
Timmy, what if you merged our 2 ideas?
Mm-hmm.
Starts as a singles. Whoever wins, the fans vote for the stipulation of the triple threat.
Then we're getting into like the ultimate gauntlet pack challenge.
Yeah, whoever wins and the fans vote for the stipulation of the fatal 4-way.
That would be cool too. All right, we're pitching ideas.
You end the fucking 6th with the fatal 6-way or whatever inside a Hell in a Cell. God, fucking so cool.
But yeah, damn. I thought that was a fun question.
Cool ideas.
Yeah,
that was a fun question. I enjoyed that a lot. I had a couple cool ideas that could be dope in their own right, and then if you merge them together, it'd be the ultimate like number 1 contenders match.
Hell yeah!
All right, that'd be dope. All right, Timmy.
What is this?
We have a belts game of the week this week. And this is, I'm calling it, I don't know what it's actually called. I'm calling it Cap Call. So I see this on social media all the time, and it's like, we just put a topic out there, and I'm going to let you pick the topic. But it's in the belts theme. So it's in wrestling related. I'm going to let you pick the topic just so that it isn't like, doesn't come off as like, I've just been stewing on this for a week. So I'm going to let you pick the topic. But essentially what it is we will set a 30-second timer.
Okay.
Before we start the timer, we're going to go back and forth and say, like, for instance, it'd be like, all right, cars. And I'd be like, all right, I can name 2 cars. And you'd be like, I can name 5. And I'd be like, I can name 9. And then we just go back and forth until one of us calls. Essentially, you try to up the ante until somebody calls BS and they don't think you can name that many in 30 seconds. And then it's just, we set a timer and you have to try to name however many you said in the 30 seconds.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I'm going to let you pick. It's a wrestling theme. I'm going to let you pick the topic.
Okay.
And then And then it's like you say the topic and then you start. And like I said, it usually starts out low. So you can literally just say one, even though like you can name more of whatever it is in wrestling than one. But you just start out low and then we just kind of build back and forth.
Yeah.
Until one of us calls Cap. And you definitely have the advantage here. But that's why I did it. Because I was like, fuck it. It'll be fun.
All right. WrestleMania main events.
And this is counting nights 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But closing the show, main event, like main events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying. Okay. Well, all right. Fuck. What do you got?
I can name 8.
That is not that is not starting low, but all right. So you're just going right up for the bat. Fuck. I can name 9.
I can name 12.
Cat. I definitely can't name any more. I said 9 hoping you were going to call Cap on me. All right. We're going to set a 30-second timer.
All right.
And you have to name
12
main
in 30
WrestleMania main events in 30 seconds.
Fuck.
I'm really happy you said another number, because if you would have called Cap on me, I think I would have been able to name 4. As soon as you said WrestleMania, I was like, fuck me. I thought you were going to go like submission holds or something like that. All right, you ready?
Oh, God.
You got to get to 12 in 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go.
Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold. Stone Cold, The Rock. The Rock, Triple H, Mick Foley, and Big Show.
Okay.
Fuck. Stone Cold and Rock, number 2. Yeah. Okay. Oh, God, what are we
You're
at
5? You got 10 seconds left.
Fuck. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Undertaker, Roman Reigns.
Time.
Fuck.
You got to 8.
Damn it. The pressure's on.
You actually ended up saying a couple of the ones that I like, or you didn't say a couple of the ones that I think I would have said. Cody Roman.
I was trying to go backward, like start early and then
KO and Sammy against the Usos.
Yeah.
The
30 seconds puts
Stone Cold
pressure.
and KO. It does. It really does.
So that means you're the winner, right? Because I couldn't do it?
I don't know if there's really a winner in that regard,
That's tough.
but it's just kind of a fun game to do.
I like it, but that 30 seconds puts some pressure.
Yeah, and it's nice because we can do it in any of the regards of our show, and so like we could totally do it for anything else. And yeah, so I just thought throw it out there. We haven't done that one yet, so
I like it.
Thought it'd be fun.
I like that,
and it's a quick one.
That brings us to
Blockbusters. Nailed it.
We got a handful of stuff.
Yes,
I'm going to put this down or list it because I did it early on in the week. And
I'm happy you did. I was sitting on Tuesday in a we have these meetings for work where they're called collaborative planning meetings, where it's like everybody that's on common plans all have to go to the same meeting and work on stuff. And I was like reading it, and my buddy David loves Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
And so I saw this and I was like, I showed it to him, and then I instantly turned it around. I copied the link to the trailer, and I opened our agenda, and that was the only thing on the agenda was you had already put it on. So I was like, "Fuck, that's awesome!"
Yeah.
So this is going to be on there regardless.
Yeah, I was like, I think I could beat him to it. But then
when did you put it on?
I think it was that Tuesday, like early, or it was.
I was gonna say, so you did it Tuesday morning. Before 9 o'clock.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I was on my way to work in traffic, and
awesome.
I was just like, oh.
Yeah, that's dope.
Anyways, movie is called Friendship. Synopsis is suburban dad Craig has his life turned upside down by the arrival of a new neighbor. As Craig's attempts to make a friend spiral out of control, their blossoming relationship threatens to ruin both of their lives. Cast is Paul Rudd, Tim Robinson, Kate Mara, Release date is May 2025. It didn't have like an official date that I saw. Platform is in theaters. This is an A24 movie, and my God, so many emotions from the trailer. Like
it built it up as like it's a horror movie.
Yeah,
like that was what the whole theme and like tone of the trailer was. It's a horror movie, but then it's popping up all the quotes that are like funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. Like all of this stuff, which makes it even better because Tim Robinson is like he's been in so many different like little sketch shows. But that's what David was saying when we watched the trailer. He's like, dude, that literally feels like one of his sketches just turned into a full blown movie, because it's like it always starts as like this nonchalant thing, and then there's like these kind of weirdness happens, and then it ends with him like going out of control and screaming and yelling, and just like craziness is happening.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what this felt like.
yeah, exactly. I was just like, how am I supposed to feel? Like this feels like a serious, like,
I know it feels movie, serious,
but everything is saying that it's funny.
I know,
and then just
well,
anything
and just even God damn it. Excuse me. The beginning of the trailer just made me laugh when Kate Mara is like, the neighbor said he was having drinks or whatever tonight. I told him you'll go, and he's just like, you don't know my schedule. It's just like,
you sit there every night.
Yeah, you sit there every night. I think you can make it.
The end of it too cracked me up. He's like, "There's a new Marvel movie coming."
Yeah,
and I was just like, "Well, that's us."
Yeah.
So really excited about this.
Well, and the fact that it's Paul Rudd too. So he's talking about like he's talking about Ant-Man, right? Like that's kind of
that's true.
A little bit of a little meta play there. It was funny.
And I think one of the blurbs did say like, "This is I Love You Man for sickos," and that's kind of the vibes I was getting from it.
Absolutely.
So really excited for this one. Really excited for this. Dude, like 4 times.
I know.
In the
last 2 minutes. All right. So next one we got is called G20. The synopsis for this is: in G20, when terrorists overtake the G20 summit, American President Taylor Sutton, played by Viola Davis, must bring all her statecraft and military experience to defend her family, her fellow leaders, and the world. The cast is, again, Viola Davis in the lead, Anthony Anderson as her husband, and then Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander in The Boys, is the primary antagonist in the film. This will release on April 10th of this year, and it will be on Prime Video. The trailer for this looked fucking dope.
Yeah, it did.
I really loved it because it had like a Olympus Has Fallen, Angel Has Fallen, London Has Fallen type of, or White House Down, like that type of feel to it. Yeah, that vibe to it. But it's the president herself is the badass. It's not like the bodyguard of the president, or a former Secret Service. You know what I mean? Like it's like she's the one that just has to like switch on flip the switch and be like, all right, motherfuckers, you mess with the wrong bitch. Let's go. Yeah. And I was like, I like that. I'm excited for it.
I was gonna say the same thing. Gave me those same vibes, but with the twist of the president is going ape shit on everyone. The
president herself is the one fucking going on.
Yeah.
So,
that one looks
and
like
Viola Davis is such a fucking badass.
She really is.
She's so awesome.
Yeah.
She's in so many things.
I agree on that one.
Specifically, How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh yeah, great show.
That show is amazing.
Yeah.
I loved every second of it. So
absolutely.
Yeah, man. Next one up we have is, I forgot about this one for a second. I was like, oh, what'd you put on? I know, this was me. I did it. I just forgot because of friendship and then The Friend.
Yeah.
So this one is called The Friend. The synopsis for this is: in The Friend, adapted from the best-selling novel Iris. I read that wrong. It's adapted from the best-selling novel The Friend. The character's name is Iris. Iris, played by Naomi Watts, finds her comfortable New York life upended when her friend and mentor, Walter, bequeaths her his Great Dane, Apollo. The regal yet intractable beast is a constant reminder of Walter and causes various problems. Yet, as Iris bonds with Apollo, she begins to cope with her past, her lost friend, and her own creative inner life. The cast of the movie is, once again, Naomi Watts in the lead, Bill Murray, Carla Gugino, I think, and Constance Wu. The release date for this is April 4th of 2025, and it will be out in theaters. I put this on because this is the only movie like this that we've covered so far.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had one that's like really deep in your feels, has to do with a dog and death and mourning and all of that. And like, we just really haven't covered anything like this, not on purpose. It just like kind of is out of the realm of the stuff that we usually like really talk about and get hyped about. And I watched the trailer for this and I was just like, fuck, man, this has like almost has Marley and Me vibes, but in a completely different way.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's mourning the loss of a human through the dog. And I don't know. It looked good to me. And I was kind of low key, like hyped for this movie.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I saw Bill Murray's in it, and I'm just like, we talked about him a couple episodes ago.
Yes,
and
we did.
Excited about that aspect of it. And then just, I like the dog movies.
Yeah.
It usually gets me in the feels because there's usually something that happens to the dog, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. It's unlike anything we've covered yet, but right up. I do enjoy these kind of movies. So, I like the prospect of this movie.
Same. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Perfect.
All right. This one falls right into our normal theme. First horror movie we're talking about today. So it's called Borderline. Synopsis is: it is edge of your seat. It is an edge of your seat thriller that follows a dangerously persistent stalker, played by Ray Nicholson, who invades the home of a 90s pop superstar, played by Samara Weaving, with grand delusions of a wedding. With her life on the line and help from her loyal bodyguard, she must escape the stalker's sinister grip before they tie the knot. This is I shouldn't have said horror movie. This is a dark comedy. But it is like it has horror movie vibes.
Yeah.
Almost like Scream vibes to it, but also a very comedic side to it as well. So that's the dark comedy thing playing out. But just kind of give like a tonal kind of reference. This comes out on March 14th, also in theaters.
This one looks awesome.
Looks
the trailer is hilarious,
so
but also it's just like, oh god, what's gonna happen? And Nicholson character is way unhinged in it. Plays it
absolutely
perfectly. I'm excited to see Samara Weaving. She's in Ready or Not, and then will be in Ready or Not 2, and she was in Scream 6. Just she's a horror icon in her own self, and
turning herself into a scream queen.
Exactly,
for sure.
So
I loved in the trailer for this when she throws the thing at him and he ducks and it hits the mirror, and I don't remember exactly what it is that he says, but he pretty much is like, babe, like
last thing we need is bad luck.
Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, you know this bad luck, right, or whatever it was, and it was just, I was just like, oh my god, because it plays into that delusion that like he thinks they're in love and they're gonna get married, but he's like attacking her at the same time, and it looked fucking awesome.
It looks awesome, man.
I'm stoked for it.
It's kind of like a fresh idea too.
Yeah, totally.
I can't think of anything like this.
It gave me, on a very minimal level, but it gave me, is it Hostage with Bruce Willis?
Oh yeah. Hostage,
it kind of had like vibes to that, where it's like the home invasion type of thing and that stuff. But like, to your point, like there's not really anything that I can really fully relate the whole premise of this to. Yeah, it does feel more original than other things.
Throwing the priest or whoever into the box, and he's like, we're Protestant, or along those lines. It was really funny. All right, The Accountant 2. We both kind of put this down, but I did talk about it on the New Year's episode, something I was really excited for. We got an official trailer for it. Synopsis: Christian Wolf has a talent for solving complex problems when an old acquaintance is murdered, leaving behind a cryptic message to find the accountant. Wolf is compelled to solve this case, realizing more extreme measures are necessary. Wolf recruits his estranged and highly lethal brother Brax to help. In partnership with U.S. Treasury Deputy Director Mary Beth Medina, they uncover a deadly conspiracy, becoming targets of a ruthless network of killers who will stop at nothing to keep their secrets buried. Cast is Ben Affleck returning as the accountant, John Bernthal, Cynthia Dye Robinson, and J.K. Simmons. This comes out April 25th, 2025, and platform is theaters.
Yeah.
Trailer looks awesome.
Trailer looks for this. Dope. And you know what's crazy is I haven't seen the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't watched the first one. So watching the trailer for it, because I originally added this to the agenda under follow-up because I forgot that that was all it was. I knew we had talked about it on the show, but I forgot that we hadn't fully had it like as a talking point. It was just something that you were excited for. But yeah, I put this on and I watched this trailer and I was like, fuck, I need to watch the first one because this looks dope.
It's really good.
Yeah, so I will be watching that. I will be watching that soon because I want to make sure that I'm prepped for the second one in a couple months. Yeah, because it looks fucking awesome. Yeah. So
Ben Affleck plays an awesome action genre movie.
Is John Bernthal in the first one?
I can't remember. Okay. It's been a long time.
Well, either way, he is fucking awesome in action stuff too, obviously. And so just them both being in this together is just it looks great. The trailer looks phenomenal, so I'm stoked for it.
And then the closing scene, like I was talking to you at the movie theater today, it was just
foreshadowing.
Oh. But like when they came out of the house just shooting, I was just like, that's a badass scene.
Yes, it is.
I was like, that's the way I picture myself playing Call of Duty.
I know.
All right, that brings us over to the serious side of things. I put this down, 0 Day. Synopsis: How can you seek the truth when you can't even trust your own mind? In the wake of a devastating cyber attack, a former president is tasked with finding the perpetrators and seeking truth amid the chaos. The cast is Robert De Niro, Angela Bassett, Lizzie Kaplan, Jesse Plemons, Joan Allen, Connie Britton, Matthew Modine, Dan Stevens, Bill Camp, Gabby Hoffman, and Clark Gregg.
God damn, that's a cast.
It's a cast. This is a mini-series. It's going to come out on February 20th on Netflix.
It's in 5 days from now.
Yeah. We saw like the ending clip of a trailer when we were watching Royal Rumble, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, was that Robert De Niro? And this was what that was. So
you know what I didn't see, and maybe she just wasn't in the trailer that they released. I didn't recognize Lizzie Kaplan.
No,
in the trailer.
I don't think I caught that.
You were reading that and I was like, I don't remember seeing her in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. It looks fucking awesome. It looks super cool.
One of those conspiracy.
Yep, and there's a couple moments in there that oddly enough look straight out of the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The TV screen like news anchor guy that's like talking to him was like almost exact. So I was like, oh,
tie that together.
Shit. Okay, cool.
Well, that's a good pull.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. I'm excited for this for sure.
I love anything with a conspiracy kind of
and the fact that this is a limited series too means there's going to be at least, I would assume, at least 3 episodes, if not 4. Maybe
I think it said 6.
6 episodes. Yeah. Oh, even better. I love that.
Right in the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's perfect. And being on Netflix, you can probably assume they're going to be 45 minutes to an hour ish, at least. So that's going to make for a good watch. I'm excited for that.
Definitely. That brings us to Fred.
Once again, Fred stands for
follow-up,
rumors, and early development.
Yeah, man.
We got a couple things in here. First thing up is, and I got really excited about this, and I was also very surprised because we got our first legitimate casting rumor for the Harry Potter series. Like everything else I've seen has just kind of been like
talked about.
Rumors.
Yeah, very
right? But this
heavy
one
rumor.
was a rumor that it's rumored that he is in like final talks and like finalizing terms on a contract to sign on for this. But John Lithgow, known for his role in Academy Award nominated role in terms of endearment for playing the Trinity killer in Dexter, and also Barney Stinson's father in How I Met Your Mother,
Yeah.
among plenty of other things.
Third Rock from the Sun.
Third Rock from the Sun. He was in Cliffhanger. He was in
Daddy's Home.
Son of a bitch, Daddy's Home. What's the other fucking... Oh, Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah,
He was James Franco's father in Planet of the Apes.
That's right.
And yeah, but he is rumored to be finalizing a deal to play Albus Dumbledore in the Harry Potter series. And I'm like 100% here for it because I love him as an actor. He has so much range. He's great in everything I've ever seen him in. He's been phenomenal in. But I think the thing that shocked me was, and this is just the only thing I know of Harry Potter, is the movies. Like when it comes to casting and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the movies. And they only casted people from the UK.
Yeah.
Like there was pretty much nobody else casted in those films. You know, like I had read multiple things, but one that stands out specifically was Robin Williams wanted to be a part of that.
Oh, okay.
And like he was turned down because he's obviously not from the UK.
Yeah.
And so like for the first legitimate casting thing to come out about the reboot series on Max being John Lithgow, I was like, whoa, shit, they're opening all of the doors.
Yeah.
For this. So
Yeah,
I'm fucking here for it though. And I'm
didn't-
so stoked in general for this. I don't know anything about it outside of the fact that it's just Harry Potter. So I'm just like,
in series form. So
yes,
it's just going to get
yeah,
a little
it's
more
so
detail.
much more detail, and like we'll be able to play to the books better. We'll be able to do certain things the movies couldn't. And I have gone on record on this show multiple times saying the Harry Potter movie franchise is my favorite movie franchise of all time.
Yep.
So now to break it down into a Max series, fuck yeah. I'm so
like
excited for it.
Did not have him on my bingo card to play
No.
Albus Dumbledore, but
Or anyone in this.
Yeah.
Maybe Hagrid.
oh yeah,
Right?
maybe,
Like,
yeah,
But I mean, like in general, like I said, just because of the whole, like with the movies, it was
yeah.
the UK people only. Like that was all they hired for it was
Yeah.
people in the UK.
Yeah.
Or from the UK or whatever. So it was like,
Yeah,
all right.
exactly. Excited for that series. I wish there would be more details on it coming out, but it's been
Oh,
slow
we're gonna
going.
get there.
Yeah, we are.
We're gonna get there. Next up, also on Max, is a movie called The Parenting. It is a horror comedy movie, so it's kind of a spoof-ish type thing. As you can think of, like The Haunting, The Conjuring, those types of things. It's called The Parenting. The synopsis is the film follows a young couple, Rohan and Josh, as they plan a perfect weekend getaway in the country to introduce their parents. As tensions begin to flare between the more traditional Sharon and Frank and the laid-back Lydia and Cliff, the family soon realize that their rental, managed by eccentric local Brenda, is haunted by the presence of a 400-year-old poltergeist. When one parent becomes thoroughly possessed, it's up to the young couple and their meddlesome BFF Sarah to unite the families and stop the evil entity once and for all. The cast of this is Lisa Kudrow, Nick Dodani, Brandon Flynn, Brian Cox, and Dean Norris. The release date for this is March 12th, 2025, and the platform, again, is on Max. So, I don't know Nick Dodani. That's like the one character that I'm not familiar with. Brandon Flynn, I know him specifically from 13 Reasons Why.
Okay.
He was like the star athlete that ended up becoming a drug addict, and and like I think it turned out
Justin?
I think Justin. Brian Cox is in tons of shit.
Yeah.
So if you don't know who Brian Cox is, just Google his face and you'll know who he is. Lisa Kudrow, obviously. And then Dean Norris is the cop brother-in-law to Walter White's Bryan Cranston's Walter White in Breaking Bad. He's
Okay,
the bald,
yeah.
the bald cop. I think it's his brother-in-law. I think it's Bryan Cranston's wife's brother, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering correctly.
Come.
So yeah, good cast. The synopsis for it sounds fucking phenomenal. I'm hoping that Lisa Kudrow is the character that gets thoroughly possessed, because that would be fucking fantastic. So I'm excited for that.
She not possessed in everything that she. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. I cannot wait for the first trailer to come out, because we are less than a month away.
Yeah, it's coming out real quick.
I know. So I'm surprised there isn't a trailer yet, but yeah,
I like it.
Next up, once again, something I added to this is called Crystal Lake. It is a prequel series to the Friday the 13th franchise, in development at Peacock, and it is through A24, which is fantastic. I was so stoked to see that, because they very rarely do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Most A24 projects are fucking great.
Yes.
And the rumor for this is, or I guess not really rumor, I read this was like legit, so I guess this is really early development stuff. But Linda Cardellini is in talks to play Pamela Voorhees, who is Jason's mother. So Jason Voorhees obviously being the hockey mask machete wielding slasher from the Friday the 13th franchise. And yeah, so this was just, like I said, early development stuff. That's really the only stuff that's been outside of, you had texted me after I put this on and was like, is that for real? Because I've like heard stuff. And what I've heard is that the new showrunner took over in May of 2024 after the previous showrunner, when the series was originally announced in 2022, left the project due to, scheduling conflicts and delays in development and everything. Mm-hmm. But now it sounds like with this new guy, things are kind of starting to...
Ball's starting to roll.
Yep, gears are starting to turn for it. So, and Linda Cardellini in that role, after everything we've seen her in, and like, oh my gosh, man, her role in No Good Deed.
Oh yeah,
that role in and of itself is just kind of alludes to, I think, how good she could potentially fucking pull this off. So I'm super excited. I love her. She is a phenomenal actress. So
100% agree. And I'm glad that the ball is starting to roll on this, because at first I was like you said, I did text you and I was like, I thought this wasn't happening, because a lot of things pointed to it not happening. It's been delayed, and so excited that there's actually stuff coming out about it. So
yeah, for
super
sure.
excited for that. Thunderbolt's new trailer came out during the Super Bowl, and kind of shines a new light on on what this movie is gonna be. Still, I'm maybe you caught it, but I'm not sure who the actual villain of this.
I have an idea, and it's because of how this new trailer was shot.
Yeah, I thought this gave us a better idea of what it would be, but I don't know.
You saw, and I'm not comic book wise familiar with these stories nearly as much as anything else. So I'm really like I'm not sure. I don't really know, but I thought it was interesting. You didn't see Lewis Pullman's character at all in this trailer. So I'm curious because all we've seen of Lewis Pullman's character is when he's in like the hospital gown when they all like get together.
That's true.
Right. And that was in the initial trailer.
Yeah.
We know he's playing Sentry. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Sentry's character really is. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that consists of powers wise or anything. I'm curious hair wise when you see the back of what looks to be at least one of, if not the main villain in the movie, the person that's like just blipping people, or turning them into like shadows or whatever the fuck it is. I'm wondering if that might be him. Maybe he is the bad guy. I don't know. But yeah,
the trailer looks
fucking great.
I love the comedy aspect of the group of them together. Definitely feels like Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, especially like the James Gunn Suicide Squad.
Trailer looks fucking amazing.
I'm really, really excited for this one. This one comes out in May, right?
Yes.
I want to say it's May.
I believe.
Fact
Yeah,
check.
because Fantastic Four comes out in July.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely May because it's February, May, July, November is really like the release schedule for Marvel. They don't really fall off that very often.
No, you're right.
So, moving on.
We got our Blockbuster replacement. We don't have a name for it yet.
Yeah.
Or Blockbusted.
This is I just put replacement for like Blockbuster section. That's why I named it that. But this is replacing Blockbusted. We kind of just decided after last month's Blockbusted
Ryan
that
was too angry.
it was a waste of our fucking time.
It was.
To just sit here and we went back-to-back months, guys. We watched Armor,
Terrible
and then we
movies.
watched whatever the fuck we watched last.
Dirty Angels.
Oh my god. See, I already fucking forgot it. I like blocked it out of my mind because it was that giant piece of flaming dog shit that we had to watch. And so I was just like, we're like sometimes spending money to watch these where it's like probably 2 hours each time of just like time that we're not getting back to watch just absolute trash. And so it was just kind of like, all right, we might need to revamp this because this isn't working the way we wanted it to. The first few were funny. It was kind of, we had like a theme going on and it was making us laugh, so we were fine with it. But then it just got to the point where it was like, all right, this is just too much. It's too hard to watch movies that are literally this bad.
Yeah.
It had a good idea. We had like the criteria and everything. It was like it was on paper. It was a good idea. It's not playing out the right way. So we decided to move on. We're working on an idea to replace it, but this week, in place of Blockbusted, we decided to just focus on one specific movie that we have been excited to see that just came out. And yeah, no hints have been shown in the making of this podcast.
Not at all.
We actually came here straight pretty much from seeing Captain America: Brave New World. So
yeah,
we'll put a thing in the actual show, but I'm saying it again right now.
Spoiler alert.
Hard spoilers. We are going to full blown talk about the movie. We should, maybe you'll be able to do this. Maybe we should watermark the episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To like Bourbon, Belts, Blockbusters, but then even within, just be able to, so like if anyone is listening, they can just skip forward so that they know it's like spoiler free after that section.
Gotcha.
Might not be a bad idea to look into.
Yeah.
Anyways, something that I've wanted to bring up multiple times. We can talk off camera.
Spoiler alert.
Captain America: Brave New World. We just went and saw it together, and yeah, so we're just gonna kind of talk about the experience at the theater, everything that we usually do when we go see something together, what we thought of the film, post-credit scene, where we think it's all going.
Hell yeah, man. Well, experience-wise, it's always fun.
Throw a little nipple in here.
Nipple. The movie experience was great. It's been a minute since a Marvel movie has been in theater, right? It last was Deadpool Wolverine.
Yes, it was.
So that was in July. So
that was in July. It's been a while.
So they've been, slowing things down, rightfully so. Yep. And I'm here for that. So the hype for this movie, I think, was just really brewing for me. I was really excited to see this. Movie-wise, I think the movie was great. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This was just planted seeds for this. Felt like the first movie that is pushing the agenda forward in the MCU right now in a long time. This really felt like it versus just developing some characters. This was driving forward what I think we're going to see. And it also it closed up a lot of questions that we've had over the years, especially like the Incredible Hulk movie.
A lot of loose ends.
Yes, and then we had the Eternals movie that introduced the celestial being in the ocean. Yep. So I thought this movie did a good job closing those.
Same, and there was a little bit of a follow up to like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes,
right there you got a little glimpse of Bucky. You get follow up to just the Avengers and just like the situation and that whole thing as well. So because the last time we saw the Avengers all together was in Endgame.
Yep.
Right, and there was a lot of shit that has happened since in the MCU. And there's a lot of shit that happened just in that exact moment in that movie. So you kind of get a little bit more storytelling and evolving there and development and whatnot. Before we even jump fully into the movie, though, which is just the experience at the theater.
Yeah, that's true.
We get there, and we each purchased this, but they had like a cool. If you guys remember when we went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine, we got like the popcorn bucket, and we each got like a cup with a little thing on it. Well, this one they had a combo for the popcorn bucket, which we don't actually have shown here right now, but we have the lid to the popcorn bucket, which is Captain America's shield.
Yeah,
and then it came with each of the cups, and it has the little figurines, just like Deadpool and Wolverine had. As Deadpool's little figurine is sitting right here. I have the Wolverine figurine at home. I did not know that we were going to have this in the situation, or I might have brought it. But we got Captain Falcon America here. We got Captain America with the wings. The wings actually come off. These things pop out of the lids of the cups, so that's pretty cool. We can get a little closer to the old camera there. It's pretty sweet. A lot of detail. Looks just like Anthony Mackie. The Hulk looks just like Harrison Ford as the Hulk, which is perfect. And I think that was a part in the movie that I really enjoyed. So we got that whole bundle, kind of collector's items and whatnot, which
got a T-shirt.
Yeah, he got a T-shirt. They were
had
selling
a lot of good merch for this.
Yeah, they're like theaters are stepping up their game of like dropping merch at the theaters too. They had other options of popcorn buckets. They had like a plastic shield it was like, almost like a 3D. I guess that kind of doesn't make sense because it's real life, so everything's fucking 3D. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was like a thick shield with a hole in it that you could fill with popcorn, and they also had
wings in the back too.
Yeah, that's right. It had the fold out wings in the back, which was pretty dope. I wanted that one as well, but I was like, I'm not going to spend that much money on this. And then they had the Red Hulk, that Harrison Ford's Red Hulk, like just from the nipple line almost right up. Nipple. And the back opened, and you could fill that with popcorn as well. Yeah. So, that's some pretty cool stuff.
Some Funkos. Yeah, they had the whole shebang for this.
Yeah. Moving on, getting further to the movie actually starting, we got in, sat down like right in time. We were a tinge late, but it was perfect still because we just missed all like the random bullshit that they say, silence your phones, like all that stuff before a movie starts. We got in right at the start of the first trailer, first preview that we got, and I thought one thing that I thought was cool that I wanted to point out in here was there wasn't a single movie that they covered that we haven't talked about on the show.
I noticed that too.
Every single trailer that they put out on the in the screen or in the previews for Captain America were things that we have already recently covered too. So that was cool. And we got to see just like those trailers instead of me watching it on my phone. Yeah, I'm watching it on a fucking theater screen, right? So there were like things that we caught and noticed in the trailers. We're like, oh fuck, dude, did you see that? Yeah, stuff like that. So all around, it was a cool experience. Yeah. So now moving on into the actual movie, I 100% agree with you. I thought the movie was really good. I thought it was really well done. I thought it tied up a lot of those loose ends that we talked about. It continues to drive forward the characters of all those primary people that we are growing more and more used to being in these roles. And I thought it did a really good job of kind of just furthering, because I know it's hard to go from Steve Rogers to Sam Wilson, knowing that Sam Wilson isn't a superhuman. Like, he's not a superhero. He has no powers. He just has the technology. Mm-hmm. So like, he is kind of like, now he's Falcon, Captain America, and almost Iron Man.
Yeah, in a sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Like all kind of wrapped up into one, because like he is like Iron Man he was just essentially a genius, right? But Sam Wilson's not even that. He just like has the tech that was gifted to him from what you find out is the Wakandans. He has the shield. He has his wings. Like, he's just kind of three different people almost wrapped up into one to lead this next revolution of what will eventually be the Avengers forward. Yeah. So I think they did a really good job of that. I'm really happy they wrapped up talking about loose ends of stuff. They continued with the Isaiah Bradley character, and we kind of got, we got more detail and more emotion and stuff involved with that character. And we got, some illusion, I think, as to where the Thunderbolts will start off from with Bucky's appearance in this, and how the girl, I forget her name, but the Black Widow girl in this, she kind of alludes to how a future congressman, Bucky Barnes, or she says his full name, but
John Buchanan Barnes.
Yeah, John Buchanan Barnes. And so I'm wondering if that's kind of like then in the trailer for the Thunderbolts, where it's him and Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character are in court together. I'm wondering if that's part of like him doing the congressman type thing, so I'm wondering if like there was a little bit of foreshadowing for the next movie that's dropping done through that too. So
did you notice this one did not start with your typical Marvel Studios? It was totally different
at all. It just started with like the black and white, almost looked really vintage, Noriak, and it almost looked like it was like this, like what you were visually seeing was like out of a paper, like a newspaper clipping almost, and then it turned to like current time Thaddeus Ross being like winning the election and he's giving his speech. Definitely it didn't do the pops up Marvel and showing all the flashes of all of the stuff previously, so that is interesting. I didn't think about that in the moment, but I
wonder if that's a new thing that they're gonna do. If so, I'm gonna miss it. I do. I always get hyped
I'll miss
up
it, but I get it too. I'll miss it, but I get it at the same time, because like it's kind of setting the stage for like, hey, this is a different era that we're in.
I was thinking,
which like I feel like was part of Phase 4's problem, was like it was too much, like people were still too close and too attached to Phase 1 through 3 of what was the initial setup and everything of what Marvel movies are. And then having the constant reminder of all of that before you then sit down and watch one of the new ones that then doesn't feel like it was as good as the old ones. Like, I wonder if that kind of added to it. So I wouldn't be surprised if like screen tested 2 different fan groups or something for this movie with it and without it. And then they were like, let's get rid of it.
No, and it makes sense, because kind of what I said, it feels like this is the first movie driving forward. Why not just start fresh with that beginning?
For sure.
Right? The action in this was great.
It was awesome.
So many cool scenes. I really like how they tied in, like, one of them. It's not talked about a lot, but the Incredible Hulk movie was a big part of the storyline in this movie, and it was the second ever MCU movie. Which is crazy.
Was it or did it come out just before Iron Man?
It was
right after?
Right.
Okay.
They were neck and neck, but like, Iron Man was first.
Okay. And then it was very quickly forgotten about just because of kind of the fallout with Edward Norton and all of that. And then didn't see anything about Bruce Banner and the Hulk again until the Avengers. So
exactly.
Which was 4 years later. So I liked how they brought a lot of things back from that story and characters and everything. You got a lot, obviously, outside of the actor's name originally played Thaddeus Ross,
William Hurt.
William Hurt. Obviously, rest in peace. Passed away. I don't remember exactly when. But has since obviously passed away, and then that character being taken up now by Harrison Ford. Very well done.
I was gonna say
a lot of homage to him. And
I really enjoyed Harrison Ford take on this character. I
did too.
I think he stole the show in this movie.
Absolutely.
He was a fantastic Thunderbolt Ross. So.
Yes, he was. And I you kind of giggled when I said it. I wasn't meaning it bad in any way, shape, or form, but I was talking about the Red Hulk. they do such a good job now of the Hulks looking like the Hulk, but also looking like the person that is the Hulk.
Yes.
Right? So like the
sure.
character that is the Hulk. And obviously it's the actor that is the Hulk. So like
Yeah.
Bruce, like Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner and Hulk, like you can see Mark Ruffalo in the Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Harrison Ford's facial features in the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. I think that because it makes them unique, you know. It's not just like, oh, it's just another Hulk. They just CGI'd him to be red instead of green, right? Like those were two completely different. They didn't look anything the same.
Yeah.
Right? It was just outside of the outfit, I guess, the ripped pants, right? That's pretty much it. And then they're just a jacked giant thing.
Yeah.
You could have turned him green or Mark Ruffalo's red and put them side by side and you would be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. I think I appreciate that as a fan of what we're watching.
Yeah. I think the only disappointing thing about the movie was not enough Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder, but I
agree
like
with you.
that they allude that he's going to be in some storyline further down the road.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree with you. But I also, at the same time, I do get it.
Yeah.
Because it's like he was a kind of side villain character.
Yes.
To what ended up being Tim Blake Nelson's ultimate return.
Yeah.
And also Harrison Ford becoming the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I liked how the trailer did a good job kind of steering you away from what the the main villain of it was. I know there was bits and parts, but
and like the very last trailer they put out, you like saw one of the brief glimpses with like in the shadows with the shining eye.
oh, I didn't even catch that.
Really? Yeah.
So
So like that was like really all you got in regards to that being what it was going to be. And outside of just like knowing that Tim Blake Nelson was returning. And when I showed you Ben Mendelsohn's character or like a picture,
yeah,
that's who I was thinking of.
they look so
so similar.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking of. But Ben Mendelsohn is from like Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
And like all of he is
From Captain
Yeah, from
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I was thinking Tim Blake Nelson's character, but that's the actor that popped in my mind. But if you were to put those two side by side, you might mistake them for each other
Absolutely.
easily. So
like when you first showed me, I was like,
then when you said
like, yeah, no, wait, no,
no, because then
Yeah.
when you were like, I think it's the scientists from the Incredible Hulk, and I was like, I mean, we're in the theater, so I'm not trying to full blown have a conversation with you, but I was like, that's what I'm talking about. I was like, what are you talking about? That's what I'm talking about. So then I looked up scientists from the Incredible Hulk, and it was Tim Blake. I was like, oh fuck, those were two different dudes. I was like, fuck me.
yeah.
So then I looked up Ben Mendelsohn. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He is one of the what are they called from Captain Marvel?
Oh,
the alien species.
the Kroll?
Yeah, the Krulls.
Krulls.
Yeah. Skrulls.
Scrolls. Yes.
Right? Skrulls.
Skrulls.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so it was just funny because I was like, that's who I'm fucking talking about. What are you talking about? Then I looked it up, I was like, oh shit, I was wrong. That is who I was talking about, but I was wrong about the person it was. I Googled the wrong picture. I Googled the wrong face. But they do look very similar. So.
Very, very similar.
But yeah. No, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I really did. I thought it was awesome, and I'm excited for, just the future. Because like you said, I think this was Deadpool and Wolverine was like, it was the perfect reset.
Yeah.
Right? Between all of what we've had and what we're going to get. Mm-hmm. But it was also kind of a standalone thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It was a standalone thing with connections. We'll put it that way. This, like you said, feels like it is like the tipping point of what we're going to be getting in the future.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. And getting the back-to-back Marvel trailers in the movie theater. We had Fantastic Four immediately followed by the Thunderbolts trailer. So like they were literally back-to-back in the previews for going to see Captain America, and just seeing them both. And there was nothing new in those trailers. We didn't get like new stuff. And one thing we didn't talk about from the Super Bowl is we didn't get a new Fantastic Four trailer.
No, true.
The trailer that we did get was the official trailer. It wasn't a teaser. It was the actual trailer.
Oh, okay.
The first trailer, at least.
Yeah.
And we thought maybe we'd get a bigger one, but we didn't. Like what they put out is what they put out. And we got that exact same thing in the theater. And then the Thunderbolts trailer that they just dropped last week, or no, during the Super Bowl, that's what we got again today as well. So it just felt very appropriate, right, for it to be those two movies shown in the previews for this. That feels like it is that first stepping stone in the right direction of what we're going to be anticipating in the future.
Yeah, and I think, and just Thaddeus Ross just asking it point blank, I think it's time to get the Avengers back together, and I was just like, hell yeah, that's. Now we're ramping up, so.
Well, and then they come full circle back to that in the closing moments of the main portion of the movie when Sam Wilson is sitting bedside to Joaquin Torres' new Falcon, talking about that, right? Like, hey, when we get the Avengers back together, like, have your suit ready type thing. And then he, does the little quip. You got a hookup? Since mine's a little messed up, you got somebody who can help me out? But that's just kind of alluding to the fact that, like, we're back in 2008.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Right? We're back in 2008 where we're going to start over the course of the next couple of years be building towards Doomsday.
Yep.
And that's exciting.
Exactly.
Speaking of building towards something, and 2008... The very first post-credit scene we ever got from a Marvel movie, in Iron Man, we get a post-credit scene here. We get a single post-credit scene. You got to wait till the end, full end. It's not mid-credits. It's literally post-credits. So wait for the end of the scrolling credits and everything. And I had read, because, I'd Googled a couple times just to make sure, like, is there anything, how many, because I just want to know, like, I don't want to know what they are. And I always look up, like, spoiler-free, what is this, Yeah. I don't want spoilers, too, because I don't want to know what it is beforehand. But I just want to know, like, how many I'm in store for, like, how long I need to sit there for, essentially, right? Because it's like, if I don't have to sit all the way through the scrolling credits, I'm not gonna. And there have been some projects where it has just been a single mid-credit scene. Yeah. And I've sat there through the whole fucking thing until the lights come on. I'm like, fuck, I could have left 10 minutes ago. I don't care about Chad R. Johnson doing the lighting. Sorry. Thanks for your help. The movie was great, but I don't need to know that. Sorry, Chad R. Johnson, if you're a real person. I just made that up, but yeah, so we did get a single post-credit scene here. It was Sam Wilson walking back into the
the raft.
Yeah, the raft.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird to me that they're holding them in the same place.
Yeah,
because the raft is where Thaddeus Ross kind of put himself. Yeah, after the whole Red Hulk mishap and everything, because he knows that he's a danger. Yeah, but then they also are holding Samuel
Sterling.
Yeah, Tim Blake Nelson's scientist character there as well. Yeah, and
Sam Sterling.
Yeah, and so it was just interesting. But you see Sam Wilson walk up to Tim Blake Nelson's character, and you're just like, they start talking, and really you get his character saying that he's seen, like, because of the way his mind works with all the gamma stuff that he has, is he sees all of the probabilities of things playing out. Yeah. Almost Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I was going to say, right? Very like, Doctor Strange.
But in a very different way.
Yeah.
He just sees them as it is, and he pretty much alludes, like, the last thing you see is, like, how are you going to stop them or something? Yeah. Right? It was kind of along that line. And I just want to know what your take on that is. Like, what do you think he was alluding to? Because I have my thoughts.
I think he's alluding to, like, just kind of like the merging of timelines, and then leading to I messed this up before, but the battle, like Secret Wars almost, like
Battle World. Yeah. Okay.
And that's kind of what I thought he was kind of alluding to, is just like, it's not just you guys. You're gonna have to almost battle each other.
Yeah. I'm wondering. So yeah, that too. Because I did have that thought as well with like how in Battle World there are like all the different variants of themselves, and they're all fighting.
Yeah.
But also, I'm wondering if it's also like he sees Null.
Oh, that's a good
Right?
call,
He sees
yeah.
Null jumping to this timeline. He sees Galactus. He sees Doctor Doom. He sees Mephisto. Like all of these things, and it's like how like you're not gonna be able to stop all of this type of thing. So that's kind of what that was where my mind was. And I thought the Battle World that against themselves too, but or the X-Men,
Yeah, true.
right?
Yeah.
So like they're
Adamantium and
very well could be a setup there for X-Men versus the Avengers, because that's happened in the comics as well. So
Yeah.
again, it's very interesting as to the word play or the the specific text that they use in these are so well set up that it's it could mean anything and it could mean everything, so it was
very
just
interesting. Simple, but it gets you going. What is he talking about? It gets you hyped up for it. It's not just like a quick teaser to the next movie, right? It's
this is
very
just in general,
broad.
in general, like directional type,
especially just kind of
franchise thing.
All the rumors going, and the direction we know it's going towards could mean several things, right?
Yeah.
So,
for sure,
I like it.
Same. All right. Triple B Game Show back at it again. We got a Blockbusters game.
Oh, man.
Once again, we've done this one before.
Okay.
But we're going to do it in a slightly different vein.
Okay.
This is the like same word guess thing. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. We say a word.
Oh shit.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we're trying to get us boiled down to be able to say the same thing, but we're going to do it in the theme of movies, and we're trying to say the same movie title.
Okay.
Okay, so like that's the goal, is we're trying to get to the same movie, but we're just not going to have any other criterion. We're just going to say words, and then we're going to try to boil it down to a specific movie.
Okay.
All right, and it cannot be Captain. Let's just say it can't be Marvel related, just because that's what's in our minds right now. It's got to be something different, just because that could make it really easy. 1, 2, 3. Captain America: Brave New World.
That was yeah.
All right.
All right. So we're just saying a word.
We're just saying a word.
Okay.
You got yours?
Yep.
All right.
Wait, no, I don't. So we're trying to get to the same movie title.
Yeah, but
we're not saying movie titles.
We're not saying movie titles. We're just saying words. And but then that will eventually get us like after this first one, we might narrow it down a little bit, and we might both say a movie title, right? But then we got to use those to try to get closer to the same thing.
Oh,
and so it's what we each say we then use to then try to just get closer. So like you might have a movie title in your head right now, but like that might not be anywhere close to what we end up at. It's just say a word. All right, you ready?
No. Yes.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Bank.
Volcano.
You didn't say anything.
Volcano. No.
Bank and volcano. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to say it at the same time.
Okay.
That's the point, Tim. You can't wait for me to say something and then you say something. We just say it on the same time. All right. So when I said bank, you said volcano. So bank and volcano.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Heist.
Tommy Lee Jones. Heist and Tommy Lee Jones. Okay. All right, you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Alien.
U.S. Marshals. Alien and U.S. Marshals. Okay. No. Hey. Alien. U.S. Marshals.
Okay.
Okay. Think.
All right.
Think.
Yep.
All right.
I'm on it.
Are
right
we here?
Yep.
Okay.
1,
3, 2, 1.
Men in Black.
Let's go. All right. Yeah.
That's where I was trying to get us.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right.
I like that.
Nice. Yeah. There we go. Sweet. We did it. That
Okay,
didn't take
I
very
get
long
two.
to do.
I
That
get
was
two.
like 4. Was that 4?
Yeah.
We went Bank and Volcano.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones Heist.
Yep.
U.S. Marshals Alien. And then, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was 4. Hell yeah.
I get too in my head in these games. I get too nervous.
I love them though. They're so much fun.
They are
They're
fun.
just
I
random.
really like them afterwards.
Yeah, and they're quick. That's why I did 2 this time because they were both really fast.
Yeah.
All right, to wrap us up, what do you got?
The Blockbusters question of the week. I also asked this. What is the strangest movie you've ever watched? And would you recommend it to others to watch?
Yeah. And I don't know if this, like, if I really sat down and I was able to look through every movie I've ever seen before, if this would actually classify or qualify as the strangest I've ever watched. But it was just the first thing that came to my mind. Mm-hmm. It was one of the first ones I really remember being like, what the fuck? And that's the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
I've never seen that.
What?
Yeah.
So it was Heath Ledger's last role.
Okay.
He died during the filming of it.
Oh, wow.
And instead of recasting it, they finished it so he plays Dr. Parnassus. And what they ended up doing was they finished the movie with Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell.
Okay.
All 3 of them playing Heath Ledger's character in like different realms or dimensions or whatever, right? And yeah, so the whole thing is like he would like you essentially go into like this like alternate universe type thing almost.
Yeah.
And like every time it would be him being played by one of the others. And because those 3 people were like 3 of Heath Ledger's best friends. Yeah. So it was kind of cool the way they did it. They finished it with him. Like they kept him in it, and then they finished it with like 3 of his best friends and made it just whole intertwined. It's crazy. It really is wild. It's a wild film. Yeah. But it was really well done, and 100% yes, I would definitely recommend seeing it.
Okay.
So not gonna give it to you for toast or trash, but you need to watch that movie.
Okay. I like it.
Yep, that's mine. What about you?
My movie is called Sorry to Bother You. It came out in 2018. And I put down the synopsis because I've only seen it one time.
Okay.
And it's just hard to describe the movie, but it sticks out in my head. So synopsis goes, the film follows a young African-American telemarketer who adopts a white voice to succeed at his job, after which he is swept into a corporate conspiracy and must choose between chasing profit or joining his activist friends who are attempting to unionize. The trailer, the description of this does not lead very well into what you see in this film. And at first I was just like not into the movie. And then there's a point in the movie that goes off the rails and it is weird as hell. It is the strangest movie I've ever seen. And for that part, I recommend people to watch it just because of the turn it takes in the movie.
Sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you.
Okay. Who's in it? Is there anyone like notable or?
It has quite a bit of people. So Lakeith Stanfield is the main guy. Yep. Tessa Thompson, Jermaine Fowler, Amari Hardwick, Terry Crews, Patton Oswalt, David Cross, Danny Glover, Stephen Yoon, and Armie Hammer. So
Jesus
it
Christ.
has
That's an ensemble.
Big names to
God
it.
Damn.
And I promise, if you watch the trailer and go into the movie, it's like you're watching a different movie. And then, furthermore, the turn it takes in the movie is off the walls.
That sounds wild. I'm gonna have to watch that. I didn't do what you did, so I'm going to read the synopsis of mine as well.
Okay.
Because I didn't put that information on.
I only did because it was just hard to describe what the movie was.
So first off, this movie, The Imaginary of Dr. Parnassus, came out in 2009.
Okay.
And it says, the synopsis is, having made a deal with the devil himself for immortality many millennia ago, the now deceit mystic Dr. Parnassus fights for the freedom of his only daughter's soul.
Okay.
So, but Andrew Garfield's in it.
Okay.
Christopher Plummer, Katie Lyons, Lily Cole, Vern Troyer is in it. And then, funny enough, much further down, I lied. It's been a while since I've seen this. Heath Ledger's character is not Dr. Parnassus. Sorry, Christopher Plummer is Dr. Parnassus. Heath Ledger plays Tony, but then where is it? Get me there. Yeah. So Johnny Depp plays Imaginarium Tony number 1. Jude Law plays Imaginarium Tony number 2. And Colin Farrell plays Imaginarium Tony number 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a wild movie.
Yeah.
That's the best I can say. I'm going to be completely honest. When I just read the synopsis, I was like, oh yeah, I fucking forgot that was actually what it was fully about.
Yeah.
I want to rewatch that,
Yeah.
but you should definitely watch that as well. And I'll
Perfect. Yeah.
What was
Sorry
the
to
one?
bother
Sorry
you.
to bother you.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that one as well.
Like I said, it's not a great movie. Like, I didn't find it to be great, but it also is just like, what the hell?
Yeah. I got
So
you. I almost said Tusk.
Oh, I haven't seen that, but I've heard a lot of things about that one. So,
Yeah. I almost said The Substance.
I was gonna.
I was thinking that
that's
one
kind
too.
of what
Yeah.
generated this
That was,
question.
like I said, or I was thinking that one was probably a little too on the nose because we just talked about that last week. But yeah,
but that's kind of what inspired that question. Was just that was a strange, fucked up movie. And
very strange. Yes, very strange.
All right,
All right,
man.
brother. Cheers.
Cheers.